Hello.
Oh, that was anticlimactic.
Hey!
See the great
Hurry
Bandini.
There we go.
What am I, chopped liver?
I don't know what that was.
Basically.
That's a bit
Nope.
weird.
Because you have screen capture for Skype, and it was over the Skype window.
That's never happened before, I swear.
I know when I'm not wanted. I'll just go.
Maybe, I mean, if you would just put your glasses back on, it would be okay.
That's true. We wouldn't have to hide your face.
Shameless plug for our Discord if anyone wants to join.
Change scares me. Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, to
Joins.
Legends of Avantris, episode 29. Holy shit. We're one away from 30 episodes, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that great?
Wow, we're almost
Isn't
at
that
3-0.
Yeah, we're almost at the big 3-0. We are a bunch of nerds embarrassing ourselves for your entertainment. We are a group of players that have been playing 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons together in this campaign for 2.5 years as of last Wednesday. As if you were here, you probably heard us talk about it quite a bit. And we play mostly rules as written, but we do some rules as fun, a lot of homebrew. I'm homebrewing more and more, incorporating a lot from 4th edition and other editions, other things that I like. So, you know, if I get anything wrong though, feel free to shout things out. It may be intentional, it's probably me fucking up, but you know, feel free
Correct
to
us in the most annoying way possible.
Please paste the page number. This is a mature stream, so keep the kiddos away. We use a lot of foul language and references to penises and 80s rock music. So, you know, it's not appropriate for the kiddos. We are doing a huge giveaway at 500 followers. We're going to be giving away 3 things. We're going to give a custom dice bag, similar to what Nikki has here. She's a crafterson. She makes some cool shit. Dice bag, leather dice tray, similar to this business, is going to be pinched up, and you can tie it. It'll be tied up, and you can roll in it. It is real leather, but if you have a problem with leather, we can make you something else if you win. And then finally, a set of just Chessex dice. We didn't make this business, but it is in the Legends of Avantris colors, a full set. So you can roll your fun LOA dice on your LOA business.
With your LOA dice.
I made those.
Yes, you did. You didn't make that.
He made the...
And if it says not for individual resale, just maybe keep it from Chessex. Don't like mention it to them.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Completely unrelated that it's
Cool.
Chessex,
Cool.
but yeah, Van just made it.
Yeah.
I made those.
With that, I think let's go around and quickly introduce the party. I think that's all we have. We have Richie playing Rodek Stonehearth, a mountain dwarf fighter. We then have Scotes playing Ganji Stormscale, a bronze dragonborn cleric. We then have Nikki playing Sylvie Flickerwicket, a forest gnome warlock. We then have Kelsey playing Annulin Mossgrove, a wood elf ranger. And finally we have Andy playing Vandris True Strike, a high elf rogue. And also, if you like watching video game streams, he is the channel, the great _Andini. Really awesome stuff. A lot of World of Warcraft mostly, but some other stuff here and there. Great commentary, great time. We're all kind of hanging out in there, shit posting when we're not streaming D&D. So it's a great time. Please follow him and show him some love. We're kind of spreading the Avantris fam. Speaking of the Avantris fam, we have a Discord, so come join that. We hang out a lot. After Monday, there were a bunch of fucking memes that got spawned. There was a whole lot of fan art and a lot of fun shit that was going around. A lot of memery on Monday night, so we like to shit post and joke around. Rabbit. We need to pull up Rabbit's album cover for Ketchup Laserbeam.
I got this.
Gricko's new 80s rock band. And
that's a real thing. Okay, I couldn't tell if that was a real thing or if it was a meme thing.
It's a meme thing, but it's also a real thing. Well, it's Ketchup Laserbeam featuring Hootsie and the Blowfish. So it is.
So here
it
is the. This is by our very own Rabbit.
Yep, our very own Rabbit hat.
It's tempted to join the Discord because it's in there.
Yes, join the Discord and see it. It's fucking amazing.
Here's an alternate with some maybe some track listings.
Oh yeah, that was Nose. That was Nose.
Ketchup Laserbeam with. Just check out the Discord. You can
check out the Discord. It's fun. And then I think that is the final bit of housekeeping. Oh, and I'm Mikey. I'm the Ironing Board GM. I write fan fiction and roll dice.
And this is Dagny. She's our Daylight Dragula. Or Dagula. Daylight Dagula.
Daytime Dagula?
Or Daytime Dagula.
And so yeah, welcome Dags in the daytime.
Hey Misaki, hey everybody.
Dragula.
Oh, Misaki requested the puppy.
Yeah, that's why I called
Where is puppy?
We want Buffy.
Unbelievable. And with that, we'll go into what happened last time on Legends of Avantris. More like what didn't happen on Legends of Avantris. As chance would have it, it was exactly our 2.5-year anniversary last Wednesday.
To the
day. And the party rushed into the room beyond where they had been previously after channeling all of their various types of energy into these strange pylon things, and rushed in. The door slammed behind them after seeing this crackling energy. They saw the shape of Orpheus, Radamanthus, the chaotic tiefling sorcerer that they had been chasing for literally the entire campaign, for months and months in game time and 2.5 years in real world time. And he was effectively using his body as a conduit, along with 4 strange capsule devices in the corners of the room to shoot a chaotic beam up into the ceiling, tearing open a rift into limbo. The room became effectively a manifestation of the elemental chaos of limbo. Basically water, fire, earth, and air, and then the chaotic energy of chaos. Them being locked in, a battle ensued. He was effectively transformed, stayed about the same size. He didn't get huge like video game memes, but he did he fused with his outfit, got leathery, rubbery frog skin, slod skin rather, had all sorts of crazy chaotic magic, and a 3-hour boss fight ensued where gravity was shifting. Annulin almost died. The party almost died.
When don't I almost die?
Right. That's true. And the party could very well have died if Rodek didn't go absolutely fucking Nova and do 109 damage.
Battlemaster fighters, everybody.
It's unbelievable.
A few feats in there, it's pretty good.
Unbelievable. In one turn, and then following up, leaving Orpheus weak enough for Avantris to get a natural 20. And stab him through. You can't write this shit. Stab him through the chest, leaving him weak, not seemingly dead, very resilient. He tried to teleport away with the rapier still in him. Sylvie attempted a counterspell and failed, but because there was nothing to counterspell, because as soon as he tried to use his magic, it fizzled out. He attempted again and again and again, didn't work. And all of a sudden, energy started shooting out of him. All his eyes, his mouth, his ears, shooting out of him back into the portal that he had once opened. It started to shrink and shrink.
Orpheus's orifices?
Orpheus's orifices, sure.
Hey.
And you saw him gyrate and return back to his normal mortal tiefling. After, by the way, losing his hair from a wild magic surge.
You rolled a 55 to 57.
I made my own 20 sided. I forget what number it is.
That's amazing.
I can find it. He lost his hair, and
I love that too.
He
so
also grew a third eye at one point.
he did. He lost his power as the portal closed up, and he crumpled to the ground. They had very little time to deal with him, trying to decide whether to kill him and finish him off or apprehend him. They decided to apprehend him, tie him up. He basically was incredibly exhausted, fell out of consciousness very quickly, and they tied him up. Realized, oh, by the way, during this battle, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, thousands of Slotty were pouring out of the portal, being shot up by basically riding the chaos, riding the magic of limbo up into this tunnel bored into the ceiling. And so there were thousands, effectively, hundreds or thousands of Slotty roaming around through these tunnels bored into the volcano, seemingly heading out. They then got a walkie-talkie call from Ratley, who said that they were being attacked and slain by the Slotty. They had to figure out what to do. They then came across the Afrita, who Orpheus had imprisoned. She basically offered them a bargain to, if they let her go, that she would grant them one wish. And they freed her with some help from the whole party, and it took a bit of time to word the wish appropriately. And she tore open a very small portal again to Limbo and sucked all of the Slotty that had once had been called forth by Orpheus back into Limbo from whence they came. And once you look back down, once the final slot had been sucked back to Limbo, you look back down and the Afrita, whose name you didn't even get, was gone. And now you are standing, finally, with a little bit of calmness, if such calm was even possible. The ruined, wounded, bald form of Orpheus, totally powerless, completely unconscious, to the ground and tied up, not too far from where you're standing. The 4 capsules still standing where they are, busted open, and you in right by the capsule that had held the Afrita. What do you guys want to do?
I look to Ganji and Rodek and I say, well, all right, the 2 of you didn't want me to kill him, so make sure he doesn't die. Keep him alive until we figure out what we're doing with him.
He'll stay right here, and he's over my shoulder currently.
Okay, yeah.
So,
He's disappeared.
Yes, he's gagged.
Right?
He's gagged.
With a filthy rag.
We assumed he would back me up on not murdering him.
He was begging for his life.
Yeah.
So
But I definitely would have backed gagging him.
yeah, so we gagged him and tied him up. So he's on my shoulder.
Yep.
Do we want to collect the helm?
I think we should. But I want to go check on the snails. Are they dead? Are they crispy critters?
Why don't you make a quick investigation check for me while I set up the map, because I don't need these for anything else.
We definitely need to make sure that we return these artifacts to Vito. The helmet and namely the blunderbuss. I don't think we should let these things, laying around in an active volcano.
I don't know where the.
I got a 5, so.
Boink, boink. You got a 5. You look around, Annulin, and these snails are completely fucked. All that's really left is I don't know where the fuck my snail token is.
Oh, I know where they are.
Oh, all that's really left is are the fragments of their multicolored shells, or previously multicolored shells, really just a charred, brittle fragments. There is not much left of their fleshy body, just kind of like shriveled little, like a slug that's been out too long in the sun, but like times
Like
10.
a bugger?
Yeah, it looks really rough. They got fried pretty brutally.
Well, if we scrape some into a bottle and take it out of the thing and then pour some water on it, I think they come back. I think that's how slugs work.
Like rehydrated?
Yeah.
Can we make rehydrated snail flu?
Reconstituted slug. Might not be snails because the shells are gone, but they'll be slugs then. That's fine, right?
We can pedal it on the road on our next voyage.
Come on.
Okay.
Just don't
So
worry
what
about
about the egg? Is it busted open? What's it looking like?
Make an investigation check on that. It's fine.
18?
18. You approach the egg, and you see that the enormous ovular shape has 3 large cracks along it. But it seems to have maintained its structure. Can you make a perception check for me?
Nine.
9. Okay. You look, and it seems like that it hasn't been completely shattered. But you still see that it's still inside the capsule, and you remember that the door was of a similar mechanism of the Afrita that you had freed.
Okay, I want to try to open the door.
Okay. Make a dex check, and yeah.
Hey, Demon. Thanks for stopping by.
11.
You.
No.
Oh.
I'm confused about this. Do I use, now that I'm on D&D Beyond, do I use my mod or the save thing?
Mod.
Just mod.
You only use
Okay.
the save
Add 5.
for saving throws.
Okay, so it's a 7.
7. You try to open it up, But if you remember the capsule that had held the Afrida, that it was kind of this combination of magic, and it took like 3 or 4 of you in order to just bust that open, and these seem to be of similar work, so doing it alone is going to be tough.
Guys, I need help.
What do you need help with, Annulin?
Opening this door. Is everything dead?
I don't know. Why do you want to open the door?
So I can touch the egg and see if I can feel it.
Well,
Do you not remember the giant beast that we slayed?
Yeah, but this is a little one.
well, if you want to touch an egg, we have one in our bag of holding.
I was gonna say, we already have a gigantic egg.
There's only room for so many eggs.
But go on, why don't we go over and let's unlock it and let's let her take a look.
Okay.
Okay, can you roll an advantage, Annulin?
Is this another dex?
Yeah, the straight dex.
Okay, that is a 20.
20.
Hey.
Okay, with a little bit of magical help from Sylvie and Ganji and Rodic and Vanners helping you out, you managed to bust the door open. Before, you had just known that the door was kicked open with a jet of fire. Oh, thank you!
Aw.
Oh, wow,
Nikita
thank you,
Nikita.
Nikita.
Wow, thank you so much.
That's amazing. I don't know why there's no sound.
And the lever shatters, and you're able to pull the door upwards, and it opens like a hatch, and the glass and metal kind of locks into place where it was. And I need you to make another investigation check.
6.
6. You look around, there's a big fucking egg.
Got him.
This is like taking, like I would put my hands on it and see if I can feel it moving. Do we
Maybe
know how old the egg was?
you knew that the egg was relatively recent, but compared to like exactly to months or weeks, you don't know from what I remember telling you. And why don't you make a quick perception and a nature check for me, both of those.
I got a 1 on perception, so 8.
Okay.
And nature is a 21.
21. Okay. So you place your hand all over the egg, and you run your hand along the crack, and you kind of are using your knowledge of the wild that you learned in your ranger training. And as you think that whatever was inside had surely perished, you feel some movement, and the egg rattles. And it rattles again, and you hear a noise, like a tapping from the inside. It sounds like dual tapping. And the egg starts to chip away.
Oh, no, we are not getting involved with this.
And all of a sudden, and the top of the egg bursts open, and you hear 2 loud cheeps. As
Annulin!
This is literally the worst thing that could have possibly happened if we just defeated Orpheus.
You didn't lie. You said you were gonna get me a pet, and you did.
and you hear cheeping as the egg ruptures, and before you, in half of an eggshell, is a very small, relatively, fluffy baby 2-headed vulture monster. And it is cheeping with huge eyes. You can tell that that whatever kind of liquid had been in the egg was vaporized almost immediately from the energy of Orpheus doing his incantation. But this vulture chick does seem to be very much alive. It's cheeping.
What a miracle.
It's cheeping and is looking at you, Annulin, with 2 sets of huge avian eyes. As it's turning its head, its neck quite not nearly as long as its mother's, but much longer than other birds that you'd expect. And its down is still kind of this soft gray color, not like the thick black feathers that you had seen, but this gray, and it looks like it is like incredibly soft.
She's also got it too.
We are at best leaving this with Ratley and giving it to him to use to help rule his new kingdom. We are not dealing with this.
No.
Better yet,
No.
better yet, fried chicken.
No.
Whoa,
I
whoa.
had Rodic and Genji and Avantris, and
So look,
if any of you try to hurt this animal, I will end you.
I'm gonna cut you off right there, Annulin, because it's what I do. Look, I have a mount. I have a Growlin mounted on a broomstick with the head of some weird alligator folk, and that's mine. And Rodic has Rambi, and Vandris is Piccolo, and Ganji's a dragon, and so I think it's only fair that Annulin also has a mount.
Okay, you know what, Annulin? I agree. I'm not going to touch a single hit point on its head. I cast Banish on the
Okay.
Not actually.
Oh.
No! It's the madman! I wish you did!
Her eyes looked like she was ready to end him.
I said I would.
So Big Bang doesn't hurt him at all.
As you're all discussing this, you see it kind of wobble around as the egg tumbles forward, as this chick hobbles out of the egg, kind of kicking aside some of the fragments, as it is about the size of you guys. I mean, despite
Like
it being a tiny...
them or me?
Like them.
Oh.
Like, and it is about probably, well, it's probably about 5.5 feet tall. So, you know, probably about like, you know, I don't know how tall Rodic is. You're like
5 feet tall.
5 feet tall. So like a little bit taller than Rodic, and wide, medium-sized creature, we'll just say, just for the meta game. As both, it steps several paces closer to Annulin, and it starts cheeping. With both heads basically like locked on directly onto you, with their huge eyes kind of looking at you expectantly, almost cheeping and cheeping and cheeping.
So I'm gonna go to Annulin and I'm gonna slide the Gator Man head off of the end of my broom, and I'm gonna hand it to her to feed to the chicks.
Oh.
Well, if you want to be their mom, you have to do the gross things.
Yeah, definitely chew that up first and then spit it at it.
Yeah, I was gonna just get some rations out of my bag.
Well, they probably wouldn't like that. I'll help you chew on it if you want.
I agree, she's not really committing to this mother role.
So first I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna take one of its heads in each of my arm and kind of nuzzle it in and snuggle it for a second. And then I will take my knife and cut some of the gator meat out and put it on the floor and spit into it a whole bunch, and then chop it up with my knife, and then feed some to each of it.
I have never needed a drink more than now.
It's a good thing we're in an active volcano where there are no drinks.
So
it's a good place for this.
Welcome, Unique and RPG. So you, as soon as your knife hits the skin of this head, you hear a loud, and this disgusting corpse gas erupts from beneath the flesh. It smells completely putrid as you slice off strips of dead Gator Man flesh or Croc Man flesh, and you hunch over, set up 2 portions, spit a bunch, chop it up. And can you make an animal handling check at advantage, please?
Congratulations, RPG Castle. I hope that it's amazing.
It's a ton of fun. You're gonna love it.
Congrats! It's so amazing.
I was really bad. I only got an 8.
An 8. They look at it inquisitively, and they look back up at you kind of expectantly, and are kind of bobbing their heads up and down.
I'm just gonna put a little like force feed and do the neck.
So you're gonna actively like try to feed them with your hand.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're babies. They don't know what they need, but I do because I'm their mother.
Okay, make another animal handling check with advantage.
They need elf hands, is what they need.
They do need elf hands.
So please.
15.
15. So they kind of are looking at like this pace on the ground. They seem very confused. It's their literally their first several moments of life. And so you take a big handful of slop for each of them and kind of grab each of the heads and not force feed them, but guides them and feeds both of them. You're rubbing their neck, and then you kind of get the sense that they're, oh, okay, this is how it works. And they slurp down the rotting, decaying flesh, and they cheep at you happily, looking very content. And they're kind of bouncing up and down, and it walks closer to you, and both heads are kind of nuzzling on your side, very excitedly.
Okay, somebody else deal with that crown thing. I'm busy.
Well, we should probably. So the crown is from the Green Dragonborn area, right?
Yeah, I don't think it... Didn't he get
Wait, I thought it was one of Vito's items. And they stole it to use for Diadra.
Yeah, it was one of Vito's collection items.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
Never mind. Well,
So we should definitely collect
I'm holding Orpheus. Someone get this.
I'll go get it.
it. Should be safe to touch. We just need to put it in the bag.
Oh, it's still in the capsule, isn't it?
It is.
Let's open the door. Come on, everybody. Bring your birds.
Well, except for Annulin, because she has to be a mom.
All right, you stay here. I'll let the rest of us. Let's go. Let's help Avantris open the door. He's the door guy.
Okay, roll with advantage because you're being assisted.
Hold on. Oh, it's just Dex. 20.
Yep. 20. Okay, so without much effort with the rest of the gang helping you besides Annulin, you manage to pop it open. Similar, despite this being the smallest of the capsules, it opens up and sitting on a platform with these strange kind of purple-looking cables like you've seen throughout Orpheus's lair. These are connected to each of the 6 gems, and also at several points along the helm as well inside this capsule.
Well, why are you all looking at me? Do you want me to touch it?
You're the magic guy, right? Or one of you two.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I don't fucking know what's going on, but I'll do it. So
It's just a helmet. It should be safe to touch.
So there are things attached to it?
Yeah, so remember those cables that were going
Yeah.
in the previous room? They were also all along the ground here, connected to Orpheus's body.
yeah.
And so the same idea. So these cables are inside the capsule connecting. Like, it seems as if,
But
like...
they're not attached to the crown itself.
Yes, they are.
Oh,
so
they are.
They do seem to be kind of fashioned there. They don't seem to be, like permanently grafted.
Okay.
Like, almost like they were clamped on.
Before I touch the crown, I'm going to try to, detach them, I guess, by grabbing 2 of them and pulling.
Okay.
If I can.
Just make a dex check for me.
Okay. I'm completely unprepared.
Oh, first.
I gotta use my real dice.
Yeah. It ain't a real roll.
Well, that's a real roll. That's a 10.
That's a 10. It's not difficult. You're able to kind of grab the cables, and given that it's not really tethered to any kind of magical power anymore, they come off relatively easily. You're able to remove the rest of the cables, and they kind of... And the Eyes of the Abyss, fully complete now with its gems, six gems, is sitting directly before you.
And it didn't react to anything? No. Okay, I'll grab it.
Okay, you grab it.
Now let's be very careful. It probably still has massive power, given that it's complete with the gems, so let's just keep it safe.
Just don't put it on, and we'll probably be fine.
Well, can we put it on the Growling head?
Absolutely not. That's the last thing that we need to test
But
right
what
now.
if it made it magical and then it floated up into the air and it was a floating severed Growling head with the power of the plane of water?
Then that sounds like an excellent
And it
reason
can
not
talk
to do
you.
that.
It would bring it back to
So
life.
that could
before
be
you-
my pet.
It could. But
Listen,
no.
Sylvie,
But
often I find
sadly,
you very whimsical and entertaining, but right now, I need to get back to Gullhaven. I cannot stay here any longer. We need to hurry up and get out of here.
But Annulin promised me I could have a pet, and then she took the pet, and then I could have a severed Growling head with the power of the plane of water, but you won't let me have that either.
I'm not going to lie, my dear. That's on Annulin's tab, not mine.
Agreed.
I
I'm
even
getting
helped
out.
her feed it.
We'll find you a pet, don't you?
Well, you also owe me a pony.
Well, right, we'll get you all of that. We'll get back to
Once we
Goldhaven.
get to Goldhaven,
Once we
you'll
get
get
to
me a pony?
Goldhaven, I will.
Do you promise? Will you make a fey pact with me and promise?
No, I won't do that.
Well, then I'm not leaving.
Does the Fey Pact give me warlock powers?
Yeah. You
What's
have
a-
to do it.
What's a Fey Pact?
Well, in the Feywild, they make pacts verbally, and if you don't do what they say, then something bad will happen.
No, I don't mess with the
Don't say another word, Roderick. Just walk away.
Let's go.
Goodbye.
Let's go find Ratley.
It was really great knowing you guys.
So I want to look around the room, make sure there's nothing dangerous or anything.
Make an investigation check. And Ganji, when you pick up the helm, you feel nothing happens immediately, but you feel like some great magical weight and power to this thing as you pull it off of its stand inside this capsule. But it does detach, and you are able to take it with you. 19. You look around, Rodak, and you're kind of tapping around, making sure that you're not really forgetting anything. And while having Orpheus heaved over on your back, and as soon as you get to the center of the room where you noticed Orpheus was staying, you realize that your foot hits sounds a bit hollow. It sounds like it's a few of the tiles in this room feel like there's not as much a stone beneath it as the rest of them.
Now hold on. If there's anything I know, it's stone. I tap on it harder and try to get a sense of what I think it is.
Make a whatever you would make for Simmons. I don't fucking know.
Stone check.
Well, I rolled a 1, but it's advantaged.
Thanks, Lone Guard.
I rolled a 2.
Have a good night.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay. So you tap on this, and you've had dealing with this. It seems like this is some sort of stone slab where there is a chamber of some kind beneath it.
Chamber of Secrets.
Gang? I think there's more to this room. And I gently place... No. Would you mind? And I take Orpheus off my shoulder. And I take out... I guess I take out my mason's tools and try to remove a stone or something. Try to find a weak spot.
Do you think there might be a lever?
There could be. I don't see one. Do I see one?
Make another investigation check with advantage.
2 16s, so 17.
17. You look around, and after spending a while kind of looking around for a lever, the party assisting you, actually behind where the flail snails had been. Remember that huge, tall, cylindrical capsule? You find a very small, not a lever, but a very small switch with the same kind of chaotic markings that were on the door. You were able to press that, and you hear... And you look over and you see that there is a square-shaped hole in the floor. And it seems as if there's stairs heading down.
Hold on. Is this a trick? Can you check?
I don't like this at all.
Going down? How much further down can we go?
Is it can we see down all the way to the bottom?
You look down, and it seems like there's just a spiral staircase going down and goes out of sight.
Would someone like to check for traps or magic of some kind?
I'll go. I gonna be honest, I don't like the idea of carrying Orpheus all over the place. Perhaps down this staircase with us. I don't like it, so I don't mind checking for traps and perhaps going ahead just to take a look.
I think
but we need to start to get out of here. I'm very serious.
I agree, but I'm happy to stay up here with Orpheus, but I think we need to make sure that there's nothing else that he's planning if this is some kind of ruse. And his plan C is in the basement, we have to stop it.
Alright, then you keep an eye on Orpheus. Keep an eye on the rest of them, especially these two. I point to Sylvie and Annulin. And I'll just go take a look real quick. I'll make this real quick.
And just tell the others what you see, and then we'll come down if we need to.
Will do. I'll check for traps.
Okay, make an investigation check.
20 again.
20. Okay, you look around. This seems to not be trapped at all.
Well, you know what I always say. It doesn't look like there's any traps. And I'll start to head down slowly, stealthily.
Okay.
Stealthily.
Roll stealth check.
While I'm doing that, I'm gonna turn back to my bird and at it and see if I can get it to like kind of follow me around.
Make an animal handling check.
16.
16. It seems like whatever you did to kind of feed it, and being the first thing that they saw, the two heads saw, they are kind of hobbling after you as you're kind of walking around the room, quite eagerly and excitedly.
How quickly can they move?
They're surprisingly quick. There's a little bit of like shakiness in their movement, but they're able to kind of hop around once like anyone kind of runs to one side of the room. They're able to kind of like do the squabble, like we've seen the kind of vultures or like birds of prey run along the ground. They're kind of able to hobble along relatively quickly given the size of its legs. And,
Thanks for the bits, Splam Squad.
Oh, thanks.
26.
Thank you.
26. Okay, so you try to melt into the darkness in this stairwell and head down. The stairwell does not go down, the spiral staircase does not go down very far. And as you get further down, it actually seems to get cooler in this room. And you start to smell, there's a strange smell that hits your nostrils as it smells kind of light and like an air of perfume and elegant fragrances as you walk down, and you see the floor. There is a door that a door frame that does not seem to have a door, and you see a very kind of warm glow coming from it. It's kind of this mixture of purples and pinks coming from this door frame.
Holy crap, this might be Orpheus's room. I'd like to proceed and check for traps again.
Okay, make an investigation check.
19.
19. Okay, you look around and you're trying to, before sticking your head into that room, you're taking a look at the door frame, you're tapping your fingers along the side, and you don't seem to find any traps.
I want to go in.
Okay. You step down and the smell gets stronger. You look inside and you see a small room, but shockingly luxurious for being in a volcano lair. There is a huge plush bed perfectly made with a fluffy comforter and dozens of pillows. You see a table off to the side with a variety of fruits and cured meats and cheeses, bottles of wine and other liquors also stashed away here, looking incredibly expensive.
Are there any bananas?
You does see a few bananas, but
fucking skimming off the top of the grub.
No, I knew it.
you do manage to see a few bananas in these fruit baskets, and you see next to his bed very nicely. You see a nicely carved kind of set of furniture. You see a luxurious armchair, and beside it a little end table. In the far corner of the room, you see a shelf, a shelf with a few items on it. Seems to be a bit bare relative to the rest of the room. But you do see directly in front of it is something on the ground. There is a large rug kind of across most of this room, but directly in front of this cabinet, this shelving unit. On the ground, in the strange chalk markings, is a...
The music's too loud, Mike.
The music... Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah. It might just be too close to the mic.
Oh, yeah. Just let me know if the music's too loud. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, someone on Facebook commented 2 minutes ago.
A circle on the ground, marked in strange chalk, in these purples and pinks and oranges and reds. And it seems to be kind of glowing. with a very, very faint glow across the entire surface. And this circle is probably about a 10 foot in diameter. Very large circle on the ground.
So in order to cross the room, I'd have to walk over it.
No, it's in the side of the room, corner of the room.
Okay,
And
I'm gonna take my walkie-talkie
Okay.
and just real quick message, give him a message, be like, hey guys, this appears to be Orpheus's room. I'm just gonna give it a once over, and then I'm coming back up, and we should get out of here. I'll bring back anything worthwhile.
Okay. And you look through, make a general investigation check throughout the room.
And I use my eyes of minute
You
seeing.
can.
I got a 14.
14. Okay. And you look around the room, and you see that there's a lot of food and drink available. You see you root around on the shelf near this humming magical circle on the ground, and you find a relatively large set of these strange-looking chalks and inks that seem to be arranged relatively nicely on the shelf. You dig around in, you kind of look back under the bed, and you reach your hand under there, and you feel your arm hit something leather. And you pull out a relatively kind of old-looking, but still seems to be sturdy, set of studded leather armor. This seems to be emblazoned with the figure of, you see a lion head, you see a bat wing, you see a scorpion tail. This looks to be the figure of two manticores across the chest, and along with the bracers and the set of boots, they have the markings of manticores on the full set. These look like they haven't been worn in a while, but they are under there. And then finally, you are able to find a few books. They are in some strange language that you're unable to decipher, but they are on the bedside table. And then the last bit you find is you open a drawer to this bedside table, and you find a very large sack of coin. And you see glints of silver in the very far back. And you reach your hand in, and you feel something circular and metal. And you pull out what looks to be a silver pocket watch with a chain coming down. It is about the size of your palm, and it is surprisingly cool for being in a volcano. And on the front of it is a very artistically looking. It's the I don't even know what the word I'm looking for. It is the sigil of some kind of. It's a shape. It looks like a turtle almost on the front of this, and on the back you find etched letters in common that says, "For my little turtle." And you have it.
Okay. I would like to take the sack of coins,
Okay.
take the silver pocket watch, take the books.
Okay.
I'd like to lift 2 bottles of fine liquor.
Okay.
And is it possible for me to carry the studded leather armor? Like, just kind of scoop it up and carry it?
I'd say
with
if
me?
you shove all that other stuff in your bag, you'd be able to bring it. You'd probably be able to carry that with you.
Yeah, I figured I'd be able to put
Yeah.
the other stuff in my bag and then just carry the leather armor. And there's nothing else that's locked or anything like that. That's
No, this room seems very comfortable. It seems you do actually find a basin of water also, where you get the sense where he probably bathed. You find perfume bottles of soaps and shampoos and conditioners and the like, and bubble bath, and all sorts of scrubs and loofahs if you wanted to take some of that. But that was basically the gist of it.
is the set of chalks and inks easily transportable, or is it like too much to carry?
You could probably, like, that would be the last thing that you could shove in your bag. It's like a pretty sizable bit there, but you could probably get it in your bag.
Okay. Then, alright, that's everything. I'll go back up to the gang, and when I get up, I'll just say, alright, so I gave the room once over. I found this large set of chalks and inks, and I'll put it on the ground. I dropped the leather armor. I found this studded leather armor that appears to be emblazoned with some sort of manticore beast thing. There are these books. I also put them on the ground. And then this sack of coins. And I kind of toss the sack of coins at everybody's feet. And I do not mention the pocket watch or the bottle of fine liquors, the 2 bottles of liquor.
And that was all that was down there? There wasn't anything magical?
There's this strange chalk circle. That's the last thing, which is why I brought this this chalk set with these inks. I didn't want to touch it. I didn't want to get too close. If I had to guess, I'd put money on it that it's some sort of magic. But I didn't want to get too close.
Sounds like, well, I don't know if this is metagaming. What I know about teleportation circles?
Make an Arcana check with advantage.
It's a 20. So 24, 5 total.
Yeah. From what Vandris describes to you, it sounds like very much from what you've studied to be a teleportation circle.
Okay. And would I know that can it be disrupted just by like smudging the chalk, or would it have to be a more intense?
You get the sense that you're not sure exactly what it is. You would be familiar with the process of the spell. That if it is trying to be used to head towards something, that can be smudged. But a permanent circle would require a heavy deal of magic.
Okay. So that sounds like a teleportation circle, which is how he gets back here. If this is his refuge, that's probably his anchor to get to reappear back in his sanctum.
Do we have any idea? Can we possibly know where it goes without taking it?
I was going to say, or can anyone use it? Can anyone just use it?
I think it's the exit. It's not the entrance. If I had to guess, is that?
Can they only go one way?
Yes, I believe he would cast a spell to go back to where it is. It's not a gate to somewhere.
It's not a two-way door.
Right.
Well, we should try to disrupt it, right? In case he gets his power back.
Oh, that's a good point. Right. If he gains consciousness, he can always just come back here.
Right.
That's another reason we should just kill him now.
No, I don't think he has magic, personally, but if we can remove his tether to this place, he can't snap his fingers and come back. Should we have the magically inclined people go down and investigate?
I would second that. First, let's do something with all this crap we found. Take the sack of coins. We can split them up amongst ourselves. I think that whoever goes down and investigates needs to take the books and perhaps the chalks and the inks, and then if we can do something with this leather armor, maybe sell it. We can stick it in the bag of holding for now.
Alright, so I start putting like all the big stuff in the bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll take the books and the inks and stuff.
Okay.
And start heading down.
Okay, you guys.
Sylvie, do you want to go down as well in case it's more?
If you don't make a fate pact with me that I'm going to get my pony when we get to Goalhaven, I'm doing nothing for you.
All right. I'll make. Okay, how do I do that? Is it like a pinky promise?
This is how it will work. I will say something. You will repeat it. Or actually, I will set the terms, and then
You're
you will
making
say,
this up, aren't
"No,
you?"
I'm not. It's happened in the Feywild." And then you'll say, "To this I agree," or "I agree to this," or something. I'll come up with it at the very end. You agreed to it, and then if you break the terms, it will happen 100%. Whatever bad thing I decide is going to happen to you, if you don't do it. And then if you do it, nothing happens because you fulfilled the pact.
Why do I need to do this? For
Hold
you
on,
to help
hold
the
on.
world.
I take Roderick aside real quick and say, how much is a horse, generally?
It's not that much. How much is in that sack of coins you just got?
Potentially a lot. Maybe we just appease her, and then you buy the horse when we get there. I don't want to be poor on the street after we've gone through.
Horses, we can handle a horse, I'm sure. So, if we happen to go through that gigantic room full of treasure, we could just take enough for a pony, maybe a few magical items on our way.
All right, I just, listen, we had that run-in with the crazy demon after we saw poor Matthias disappear into nothing.
I know.
I don't necessarily want to play around with the Fey magic here, and I love
agree.
Susie, but she scares me sometimes.
If all we have to do is buy her a pony, that's the least we can, for what we've been through. If it means that we can dispel Orpheus's magic and just be done with it, I'll do it.
Fine, then proceed at your own risk.
All right. Thank you for your concern, lad. I appreciate it. I turn around. All right. So go on.
Okay, so I'm going to set the terms. You'll say, I agree. Then we're fine.
All right.
Okay.
That's all I do.
Yes.
All right.
We are entering into a Fey agreement. These terms shall not be broken once agreed upon. I, Sylvie, Flickerwicket, of the Flickerwicket family, Bald Possum, will accept one small pony, a cute one, from Rodex Stonehearth of the dwarf variety, and he will provide this pony upon our arrival to Gullhaven from Gangplank before we leave Gullhaven, not later and not sooner. And if he does not, he must remove Avantris' left arm, provide it to me.
Hold on a second.
I will
now.
then slap him with it and then kill him.
I agree.
Perfect.
That's easy. I thought it was going to be like, I would lose an arm.
Well, I said then I was going to kill you.
Oh, you would kill me?
Yeah.
Well, the whole Avantris losing an arm thing is worth it.
Okay, so you'll get me a pony.
We'll get you a pony. It's fine. I don't have
Otherwise-
any
This is
concern.
nonsense
See,
about
Moses?
non-people who were involved getting involved with these Feywild packs.
Well, you did. I was trying to do the Fey Pact, but then you came over and got yourself involved by pulling away and talking to him behind my back.
did.
But
You
you're
did,
only
lad.
5 feet away, so I heard everything that you said, and I was offended by it, so now I want your arm. Thank you,
I reach into
Rhoda.
my pack, I crack open one of the fine bottles of liquor, and I just upend it.
Okay, technically though, if you just don't step into Gullhaven, we're okay. Anyway, let's go.
Oh, I should
It
have
is some of the most expensive tasting liquor you've ever had, Avantris.
And then I look at everyone saying, "You're not getting any of this. I intended to share it as a surprise, but screw all of you."
It's all in good fun. We'll just get her a pony. It's
I'm
easy.
just trying to dispel a magic circle.
Yeah,
here. I don't know.
Why don't you go on? I'll watch all of our stuff.
Well, in my Fey Pact, I didn't say anything about helping you. I just said that when we get to Gullhaven, you're getting me a pony.
Right, but then you said you wouldn't. Before that, you said you
Yeah, but
made a
I
fake
didn't
pact.
do that in the Fey Pact, so I'm technically not obligated to do anything.
You're not,
for
but
you
I'm
right now.
politely asking you to go down and.
Sylvie, it's called good faith.
I'm done. I sit down.
I'll go.
Okay, you all go down, you join the party, and you experience the same thing that Vandra saw, the plush private quarters of Orpheus Radamanthus.
Does the circle look to be permanently affixed, or does it look to be...
Make an Arcana check.
20.
It does seem to be a permanent teleportation circle. It seems to be magically affixed and radiating. You get the sense that it's not something you can just kind of kick away with your boot and get rid of it.
Sorry, I'm listening to the music.
Well, I could try dispelling it, but we all saw that happen last time.
Yeah.
Instead, actually no. Let me look something up.
My forte is not stone. It's more... nothing, really. Yeah, no, I won't be of any help. I can make things look like stuff that doesn't exist, but that's really kind of just my shtick. I can make it not look like a teleportation circle.
I look at Rodek and I say, this has been the worst deal in the history of all deals ever. Absolutely terrible deal.
I can make it
It's a
smell.
terrible deal.
I can make it smell not like a teleportation circle. I can put glitter on it.
Am I down there?
I can put glitter on it.
I don't have the stone.
So Radley here.
Hold on.
The bottle and she says she can glitter it up.
About 30 seconds later, you hear, put glitter on what? Also, all the frog things went away, by the way. What happened down there? Are you alive? I forgot about you.
Rodek, your voice sounds weird. Are you getting my pony?
This is Ratley. Do you remember me? I'm the lizard folk. We's old friends.
Thanks,
I
lead
take out
dog.
my sending stone. I say, Radley, put down the sending stone. Just get out for now. We'll be back soon. We're fine. Thank you.
Okay, I'm glad you're alive.
Hey RPG, during our stream, like when we're live chatting in Twitch, is perfect. Discord's the best when we're not streaming.
All other times,
Yes.
Discord is how we chat.
Okay.
Okay, well, I guess I'll just give myself guidance because fuck this, and try to dispel it because fuck this. Which the other idea is to use stone shape and try to break the circle, but I don't know if it works like that. So I don't want to.
There's no guarantee.
Yeah, with my last spell slot, so I don't want to mess with that. So I'm casting it as a 4th level spell. Teleportation is 5th level though, so I think I have to roll.
Hold on. Let me make sure it's. Yep, you gotta roll.
Yep. Okay. That's good. It's over 20.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay, so you channel your magic, and you feel a platinum light rain down onto the circle, and you see a poof of smoke as the ink evaporates and drifts off into the wind, and the glowing circle is no longer there.
I think we're good. Let's get out of here.
Shall we go? Once you come up here.
So what happened?
I dispelled the magic circle.
Hey! It
Incredible.
worked!
Now let's get the hell out of here.
I'm down with that plan. Let's go.
Alright, so shall we go? And then I get up, I leave, and we just go out the way we came.
Okay, so you walk through, kind of taking one last look back. What are you doing with the vulture?
Coming with
I'm just
us.
gonna at it. Have it follow
Okay,
me.
you don't even really have to do that. As soon as Anulin steps anywhere, the little two-headed vulture is just hobbling after you. And so the motley crew, or the bald, unconscious Orpheus over Rodek's shoulder, is walking through this lair. You remember that, like, despite this room being, you know, the Orpheus' lair being a lot cooler, that you're still in a volcano. It is incredibly oppressively hot. You walk through the magma chambers. You walk through the very dark room where the Slotty had been. The stench of the corpses of all of the lizard folk that had been the experiments kind of assaults you as you're walking through. As you make your way through the horde room, you see what horde there was is no longer there, and you look around and you see that there is kind of remnants of some kind of sickly green liquid on the smooth stone. And you look up and you see that there was some kind of some holes kind of bored into the ceiling where you get a sense that maybe some kind of acidic liquid had rained down over this entire horde, set off by something, and effectively dissolved the entire thing. And
So there's nothing left.
nothing left.
I mean, you can't really be surprised by that, right?
He plans for everything.
Everybody's got a plan until you punch him in the face, I always say.
You'll have your chance.
You make your way through the. You see past the crumbled statue of Orpheus, and you make your way to the elevator. I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw. It's the oppressive heat. You remember just how hot it is.
I got a 5.
21.
15.
17.
14.
You all kind of wear it off. Avantris, the heat is so much. You've been down here for so long, you take a point of exhaustion.
That was almost enough to knock me out.
As you feel yourself and you get back to that small, dark chamber with the pathway board up to the volcano. You see that magical platform in the volcano. You see the lever. It is pointed straight out, just sitting exactly how you left it.
Once we're all on, we pull the lever.
Okay. There's enough room. The vulture hobbles after Annulin. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze. It won't stop fucking chirping as you ride.
Please be quiet.
As you ride the elevator the entire way up, you ride, and as you go up and up and up, the same sights as the diamond-encrusted caverns and bits of magma flow as you leave. Potentially for the last time, Orpheus's volcano lair. You ride for probably another 20 minutes up through the mountain until it stops. Before this would have happened, you would have seen the torchlight from formerly King Krem's, now King Ratley's private quarters at the top of this elevator shaft. And it stops right about, and you're looking probably about chest height up, and as you look around, it seems as if Ratley isn't there. No one's in the room currently, and as you look around the room, something seems to be different from the past days that you've been here. You finally see sunlight. The clouds seem to have parted and melted away as the warmth of the sun kind of radiates on your skin, coming through that blown off side of the fortress.
Is anybody around?
Make a perception check.
21.
21. You look around and you do not seem to see anybody in the room proper. You see that the door is closed, and you're not really sure if anyone's on the other side of that.
Well, does anyone remember how we get down?
Down where?
Down to the bottom.
Of what?
This keep.
What keep?
Can we throw Alien's new pet off and have it flap and have us glide down hanging off of it?
It could fly us down. You think it could fly, Annulin?
I think it's too young for that.
Oh.
Why doesn't Ganji jump off and try?
Yeah, you're a dragon. You have wings.
Yeah,
Yes,
dragon's gonna fly,
exactly.
right?
Yes.
That's how it
Yeah,
works.
totally.
She's got a good point.
We need to find Ratley. I need my sending stone back.
Hey, Ratley, where are you? We're in the throne room right now.
We're just here collecting our dead and just trying to account for all the damages because of all the horrible frog monsters. Where are you? You guys are in the throne room?
Yeah, we made a wish with a thing, in Nefrita, and she got rid of all of those frog monsters, and we have Orpheus's unconscious body, so we're in your throne room.
Well, make yourself comfortable. There should be some snacks on the side of my throne. They're not great, but if you're hungry, good job.
Okay, great. In reward for getting rid of all of the frog monsters and for Orpheus's unconscious body, do you think we could have a ship?
I guess, sure, why not?
Awesome, thanks. While you're down there, can you make sure that it's ready for us to sail away sometime eventually? Like maybe? Love you very much. Bye.
Wait, hold on.
I'm not done yet. I'm chiming in here. Ratley, can you hear me, buddy?
Yeah, no, I can hear you.
we're gonna need that ship as soon as possible, not whenever it pleases you. Just as quickly as you can. And also, did your crew have any luck finding that box of mysterious liquids that was potentially just left on the beach?
Oh, it's funny you should mention that. No, we did have a party and we did find a box and it was filled with a bunch of broken glass. Is that what you was transporting?
Unfortunately, that probably was it.
Oh, okay.
That's fine, it's fine. When I see Forgus again, I'll just ask him what was in it. He'll tell me.
Avantris, ask him if you found any of the other letters, if there are any others.
Did you find any other slabs that had written common letters on them?
Oh, yeah, no, we found one. It had an M on it, yep. It was in the apothecary.
I looked at the rest of the group. Is that the one we were missing?
Yes.
Which one does he have?
He said, I'm sorry. I forgot.
Yeah.
You can't hear what's going on. He got one with
it's
an M
what,
on it.
It's
He
what
said
we
got an M on
expected.
it.
Yes. It could have been it still could be a W. Maybe he's looking at it upside down.
We need one of you to send that to us immediately.
Or it's a W, I don't know. It might be standing for Wumbo or something. I don't know.
That's Ratley, you cheeky bastard. Just send the slab up here as quick as you can. Get someone to send it up here.
Okay, I'll let somebody know, and we'll work on the ship. Thanks for saving us from all the horrible frog monsters. That was pretty cool.
We do what we can.
Okay, and take some snacks. Seriously, it's good stuff.
I'm also gonna try and find a big piece of cloth, and I'm gonna take that from you too. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Sure. Why not?
Okay.
So, before we go on this ship, do we have any idea that the dragon turtle is gone?
No.
I'm willing to roll the dice because I'm sick of this godforsaken island and I need to get back to Gulf.
So after all of that, we're just sailing along and we're taken out in one bite.
I mean, I'm confident we killed Deandra. We basically killed Orpheus. We killed King Krem. Why would there still be a dragon turtle just wandering around? If we're dealing with the planes, we've basically gotten rid of all of that, right? Haven't we?
Yeah, and if we haven't, then Ganji will just banish it, like we'd planned.
You did have that plan.
Which you can't do until...
Yeah, we will sleep here
Well,
tonight. The
yes.
ship's not ready.
Alright,
And the
alright.
ship also, it took us like a week to sail here or something. So
We've got time.
it's not like time is
Yeah.
a precious commodity.
Plus, I have something I have to do tonight, so
Alright.
You going out?
no, I'm staying in.
Oh, I thought maybe that gnomish gentleman was here to pick you up again.
Who?
The drunk.
Which one? Matthias? He wasn't a gnome.
No, he wasn't a gnome.
No, he was my husband. We had a daughter. We didn't. She's in my rod. She's not my daughter.
This is
Killed
getting
her.
weird.
I miss him.
I'm
Bye,
sure he's-
Santa Claus.
What are you gonna do tonight?
Well, well, I need to, can you help me find a big white sheet or something in here?
Are we gonna make a fort?
No, I'm gonna paint on it with some Goralin shit. But you can
She's been
help
looking
with
for
me if you
weird
want.
things for a while now.
Yeah, and so I would like to look for a big white sheet, or something that looks like Goralin shit would show up if I painted on it, and 2, pottery style pieces of things that could be, broken.
Okay. You actually make an investigation check.
Multimedia growling shit art.
22.
22. You look around, you actually find the snacks that Radley was talking about were in 2 pots.
Oh, great. I'm
and
going to
so
dump
they-
them out and take the pots.
There are pots. There is the flag of the Lockjaw Crooks, which is black, but there are bits of white on it. You could probably try to rip off just the white.
I'll just
kind
take
of
the whole
skull.
flag.
You take the whole flag down.
Yep.
And you pull it down.
Cool. I'm good.
What are you doing?
Not that I necessarily want to enable this behavior, but perhaps if we swing back by the kitchens, you might be able to find some sort of tablecloths or something that awaits.
No, this is good. I think this
Okay,
will work.
that's great.
So what's our... Are we going to wait here, or do we want to stay...
I think we could all use a rest stop.
Yeah,
I
so-
know I could.
Well, there are
Andrew certainly looks like shit.
there are a bunch of snacks on the
Thanks.
floor that Ratley left for us, and it looks comfortable here. So we might as well just sleep here
We
and
have
then
slept
go
here once
tomorrow.
before.
Yeah. We
We've
could
also
hang
got
out.
booze.
We could play patty cake or hopscotch, and then when we're tired, we can sleep and then wake up tomorrow and get on a ship.
I think that's a lovely plan.
Not short. As soon as you say that, you hear some hobbling, and then with a tapping beyond the door, and all of a sudden the door slides open, and you see the wrinkled, old crocodile man with the orange tie with the black markings, holding a cane, and he looks at you and says,
Well, finally we need to get something that isn't bug possum. Oh, by the way, I was supposed to give you this.
and it's old Croc Squits, and he hobbles into the room on it with his cane, and he chucks at the closest one a golden plate that says M on it.
Welcome. When did you arrive?
Oh, I guess it was a day or so ago after King Krem died. Now we live in our kings, ain't we? Now is the last laugh, eh?
I think I caught all that. So what's it been like without King Krem? How's Ratley doing being the new king?
Oh, that youngin', he is a fucking moron, but all the rest of the homes are even bigger morons, so he'll be fine as long as I don't have to eat any more fucking bog possum.
Well, I'm glad you're eating better.
I saw King Krem was eating like a king, I guess, but now he ain't got no head.
Croc Squits. There are snacks on the floor. Do you want one?
And I throw one at
I
him.
would love a snack. Okay, I don't even care what it is.
Wow, look
okay,
at those
good.
reflexes.
Good.
Good.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
Ratley
smart
left him
for
on
an
the
old
floor
croc,
for us.
ain't I? Oh, that's great. That
Yeah.
sounds like him, dumb fucking lad.
Yeah, he's gonna make a great king. The king of floor snacks, they call him.
They're just like snacks strewn
Yes,
across.
all over the floor.
Well, I'm going back to my plush apartment that I had installed.
Oh, great.
One more thing. How's the woman we left with you? How's she doing? Is she still around?
Oh no, she's fine. She just has been helping out, tending to the wounded. She's been doing some cooking.
Okay.
She makes a great fish stew.
She could
She's been
marry.
asking about you.
She could marry Ratley and then be queen of floor snacks.
Maybe not.
no,
Maybe
I
we
mean-
just find out if she wants to take the boat back to Gullhaven with us.
Oh my
That sounds
god.
like a good plan.
But what if she winds up in the water again and then flies out at us all dead and bloaty?
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
We stopped it once. I'm sure we can stop it again.
Okay.
So, are there sleeping quarters now that Ratley's taken over?
Oh yeah, no, we've remodeled most of it into sleeping quarters. It's makeshift for now, but I know it's very plush Corallan fur. It's good on the old back, you know.
How long were we down in that volcano? You had time to remodel the whole castle.
And
You were down there for a while.
they're alligators. They can do much more than we can.
It's only been a day, but we's industrious. When we ain't just pillaging, you know, it's just a little bits of wood. It ain't fancy like you folk have, that's for sure. All you need is a dead Corallan skin and a couple planks of wood, and you have an apartment.
Do you want this giant growling head that I have on my broom?
He looks at
He's rotting.
No thanks. Okay.
I'll keep him. Want another snack?
Sure, I'll take one.
Throw another snack at him.
Okay, I'm gonna enjoy these snacks in the privacy of my private
Okay,
quarters.
goodbye. We're gonna sleep
Okay.
on the floor here.
Goodbye.
Bye.
and he hobbles off.
Isn't he just a treat?
As
One word
the
for it.
door closes, you see that he passes two guards that are keeping watch on the door. That's-
Good night, guards.
They don't say anything.
Well, it's daytime, right? Is
Yeah.
that? Alright, should we ask Ratley? Can one of you ask Ratley if there's somewhere we should stay? Should we stay here?
Can one of you guys ask Ratley if there's someone where we can stay? Can we stay here? Little line that's like, if you were writing this on a piece of paper, would not be at the bottom or at the top, but in the middle, Rhoda.
You can just crash in my place if you want. I got a few extra pillows and stuff, you know. It's not fancy, but it does the trick.
Yeah, we can sleep on the floor in here, he said. There's some pillows.
I heard that, and no, he didn't. He said we could sleep in his place.
Yeah, which is right here. That's where his throne is.
Bradley, besides the throne room, is there a different place that is yours?
Yeah, no, there's a room behind the throne. You didn't see it?
No, we didn't.
That's okay. We'll sleep on the throne room floor. Roddick's really good with rocks, so he can make us all beds. Bye! Why are you
How do
trying
we
to
get
ruin
into
the
the room behind the
sleepover?
throne?
Oh, you just go behind it. There's a little door there. I mean, King Crown could fit through there. I'm sorry you didn't see it.
To be honest, it's sometimes it's hard to see things when you're imagining them with your brain.
I don't know what it means. I'm busy. I'll get you shit ready. Goodbye.
Sorry, I was knocked a little silly while we were fighting Orpheus. I'm a little confused. I apologize.
Alright, so I walk over to the door behind the thing. That's
There's a very large door behind the throne. The throne is considerably larger, but there's enough space where you can get the sense that King Crown could have.
Holy shit! How did I miss that?
And
He
there's
was there the whole time?
It's easier to see with your eyes closed.
and you would have been able to smell it previously. It looks like it's been cleaned up a bit. As you go inside, there seems to be just a large plush bed, but it's kind of more of just a large soft cushion.
I'm gonna go
With a
run and
bunch of
just
down.
jump on top of it with my growling head and my broomstick.
Okay, you just leap onto it. It seems to be stuffed with. You probably get the sense
Thank
of
you for the
vulture.
sun.
Oh, thank
thank
you.
you.
You're the best. Thank
you.
you.
Amazing. And you look around; it's very quaint. There's a few bits of rum. There's a few bottles of rum, not nearly as fancy as the alcohol that you found in Orpheus's private quarters, but there's a large bed where King Krem used to sleep, and it seems it could probably fit all you guys if you snuggled up. There are a few extra pillows and like cushions around the floor that you could probably make a few makeshift things. There is a hooded lantern on a little table, and it seems like they're kind of just in the process of like getting things set up for the new rule following the revolution.
How disgusting is the bed?
You get the sense that it's been cleaned to the best of their ability.
Well, besides the rotting growling head.
The rotting growling head is the filthiest part of this at this point.
Well, I guess I'm gonna go sleep out in the throne room on the floor.
Well, maybe I'll sleep next to the bed and just use one of these pillows.
I'm gonna roll over onto like my elbows with my butt up in the air.
I have gas.
Not to be that person, but we should probably still set a watch just so we're not leaving Orpheus to his own devices.
I will stay awake for at least the first 4 hours, and I will keep. I may just stay up. I really don't think we should let Orpheus.
No, I mean
You need to rest, Vandris.
What's that? Say that again.
Said you need to rest, Vandris.
I've got my bottle of fine liquor, and I've got my good buddy Orpheus to at least keep me awake for a good 4 hours. After that, we'll talk about it and see what happens.
I'll take the second watch then.
Well, I'm not going to bed anytime soon because it's not even nighttime yet. But I do want to hang out in here next to Bruno.
And I'm gonna pat the growling head with some of the like gross, disgusting stuff coming off on my hand.
Because I have some things that I have to make.
You gotta promise me, though, if someone else is on watch and he wakes up, you get me up.
The growling head's not going to wake up. He's dead.
I meant Orpheus, but
Oh.
thank you.
Well, I was talking about the growling head, so you can see why I was confused.
Well, are we setting 4 watches then?
Sure. I'll go first.
Well, I think Avantris could stay up, and we could do 2 people, and then...
Well, I'm not going to sleep right now is my point.
Alright, so you wait with Avantris for the first 2 hours,
Well,
and
probably...
Ganji will take the second watch.
Well, I think it's probably not in the nights right now, so I'm probably going to stay up for like 4 hours or like 6 hours, depending on how long the DM says it's going to take me to craft a couple of things.
How long have we been up?
And
You've been
then,
up for a long fucking time.
And then I'm going to sleep for 8 hours.
Right, so my point is, when everyone's ready to go to sleep, I'll take the first watch. We all know that I don't need as much sleep. Annulin and I don't need as much sleep as you guys do.
I'm gonna just take some snacks and scoop them off the floor into my little, like, rations pouch and kind of go over towards a wall that doesn't look like it has or has had growling shit on it and sit down with my birdie birds and just kind of lean into my snuggle birds and start to meditate.
Okay, so yeah, you've managed to find a spare corner with no Gorilla and shit in it.
Well, the gorilla and shit's in my pack.
Yeah. I thought you replaced it with something, but that's fine.
No, they still have something.
Okay. And your bird follows you around, basically, and it snuggles up into the corner. Despite having it just been born, it seems to be completely exhausted, and it quickly falls asleep with you as you snuggle.
What color was the growling before we killed it?
Brown.
Okay. Perfect.
Is it a different color now?
I'm sure a lot of it is, yeah.
Yeah, it's like all bloated and gray and like purple. It's just disgusting.
Wait, do growling have fur? Or are they like skin?
They have fur.
There's
There's
fur.
skin and fur.
Thank you for the following.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, well, I am going to just, I'm going to take Bruno, and I'm going to go to the corner, and I'm just going to craft for a while, and then I'm going to go to sleep.
Well, so do we feel like tired? Like
You guys are very fucking
Okay.
tired. It kind of finally hits you, like especially Vanders, like after like the heat and the battle. You guys all almost died. It was horrific. You felt like you were about to get like slaughtered by the Afrida at any second. She looked like a wild animal, basically. It was you feel the weight of the past however many hours and the however many weeks you've been on this journey away from Goldhaven, kind of almost starting to catch up on you. So you're very tired.
Okay, so I kind of sit down and I say, before we go to bed, Vanders, could you pass me a bottle?
I take one more drag from the already open bottle and I pass it off to Rodak.
And so I take a big swig and I kind of like sigh and look around a little bit and look at Orpheus. Look at Vandris. So how does it feel?
Good God. Honestly, I really hadn't thought about it too much, minus some of the words that we shared in the tunnel leading up to the fight. And, when I said that I was going to give up bounty hunting, I think I may have to. Now, who knows what the future will bring and what will happen with the 5 of us. I have no intention of leaving, but if someday in the future money gets tight and I have to resort to bounty hunting again, I don't know. I swore off of it once. This would be the second time I've sworn off of bounty hunting, and quite frankly, I don't think I can keep it up. We've made so much money. Honestly, I can't believe. I never thought it would be so lucrative saving the world, to be honest. And now when we turn in Orpheus, we're good for some more money there, too. So we may be okay for a while.
Right.
Honestly, I'm going to take it easy and probably follow you guys around.
And there's so many things bigger than bounty hunting, right? Like, we know that there are a lot of things going on, so I don't think you should feel bad if you give that life up.
You're probably right. There's a lot to see. I know that even just the stuff that we've gotten into, there's a lot we've left unfinished. So
right.
I think that we have some interesting visits, namely Alphonse, that we have to visit in Gullhaven. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what that will bring. But needless to say, when we're ready to move on, we can go anywhere. I know that these are touchy subjects, but Annulin's looking for her family, and Ganji has plenty of research to do, and you've got that crazy horn of yours, and, well, Sylvie's Sylvie, but, I'm willing to stick it out with all of you.
Well, I'm very glad to hear that, and I do greatly appreciate it, and congratulations. I think this was a victory for all of us, but more so for you, so
I never thought I'd meet the mark that might best me. It was, it's been quite the... I couldn't have done it without you guys, honestly. I think I was in over my head.
Right, well, good job, everyone. We almost died, but we all deserve a much-needed rest and a gulp of this liquor. It's very delicious if anyone's interested.
I look up, and I have smears of growling shit all over my face and my hands. As I'm kind of like in a mess of stuff, and I'm like, yeah, cheers!
Just why don't you finish that and just... Once you're done and...
I conjure up Mage Hand.
Does that make it better?
It's all over your face.
I
literally just take it up and I just pour it up.
Make a dex check.
Just a little bit, like, ooh, I rolled a 1. 4.
You manage to get a little drop in Sylvie's mouth, and mostly gets all in her eyes, all down her cheek. It runs down. You're
strong stuff.
This reminds me of my days at Anzu College.
Yum! Ouch!
I'm gonna prestidigitation it out of my eyes.
It's out of your eyes and your dry.
Thank you, lad, and I passed the
Back to work.
And then I have to ask you, I'm basically making 2 craft projects. Neither one of them can be used for anything. They're solely just craft projects. What would I need to, like...
What are you trying to make?
I don't want to tell you until they're done.
How elaborate are they?
They're not really that elaborate at all.
Then why don't you just make a straight dex check?
Okay. Please work for me.
Pretty good.
14?
14. I would say it would probably take you like 4 to 6. We'll say it's like 4 to 6 hours.
Okay. That sounds about right from a crafter's perspective.
To get some kind
with
of...
what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Alright, well, it's been lovely. I love you all. I'm going to bed.
I'll take the first watch.
I'll be up with you. Just don't ask me questions. I'm
so, not too far from Orpheus's slumped over unconscious form, Rodek passes out.
Yeah, no, I was literally right next to him.
Okay, so directly next to Orpheus's bald form, Rodek finally drifts off to sleep.
And before I did, I just want to make. I would have checked all of his bindings and his gag and all that stuff. Okay,
seems fine.
Cool.
For the entire full 4 hours, I sit wherever I'm sitting with Venom Spine laid across my lap and a bottle of booze in my left hand, with my right hand waiting on the hilt of Venom Spine, staring at Orpheus.
Okay.
For 4 to 6 hours, I'm hunched over all of the things that I've been collecting. I'm just working.
Okay.
And then I want to go to sleep.
I'm sleeping.
Okay, so Andy passed out immediately.
Yeah, because I was
He's
taking.
like last watch
I was taking the watch after.
Oh, so he went to sleep immediately before all of this. So you've been sleeping peacefully, and you guys have your watch, and you're able to do kind of whatever you guys like, and you'll eventually finish a long rest.
Yes.
However you would like to do it.
Does exhaustion go away after a long rest?
Yes.
Yes.
One
level of exhaustion per long rest.
Okay, I think I only had one.
You do only have one.
I feel so refreshed.
Did you get any sleep?
Yeah. Enough. Just barely, by like the minute. Like a minute mark. Got just enough. Just a scote's amount of rest, I'd say.
One scote.
Yeah, 1 scote's of rest.
What kind of unit of measurement is that? I've never heard of that.
Well, I
Is
don't
it
know.
small?
I've just heard people say it before, like, oh yeah, move over just a scotes. You know?
I think I've heard something similar. Maybe not that exact word, but close enough.
Right, Ganji, move over just a scotes.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Well, I don't want to have to be the one to start off the morning, but I have a couple of presents. And by a couple, I mean 2. Avantris.
Oh, dear Jesus.
Amiria is going to kill you. So I think that once we get back to Goalhaven, the boat that Rattler gives us, we should give to her. So I made this.
And I hold up the creme banner, and in the white logo, it says the bitch that floats and growling shit.
This is the flag for her, because she's a bitch, and when she's on the boat, she'll float.
And so I give it to him.
This is very thoughtful, but when the time comes, maybe you should present it. She won't even speak to me.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that. And I'll explain to her why I wrote it in Growlin shit and what it means.
Great.
And then Rodak...
What does it mean?
I just explained it to you.
Just that it's the bitch
That
that
she's a bitch, and when she rides on the boat, she'll float.
Oh, so there's no, like, second meaning that's just literally she's a bitch that floats.
Yeah.
Alright, okay.
Well, I was
that's
trying to
fair.
think of something witty and clever and funny. But if there were such a thing as levels, I'd only be one level in Bard, so I don't think I'm trained well enough for that kind of comedic relief. So I just wrote the first thing that came to my head when I thought of Emiria.
It's a lovely flap. It's a lovely.
Thank you.
Surprisingly touching, despite all of the shit on it.
Yeah, well, the shit's dried now, so I think it'll be fine.
It still smells a little bit, though. Do you smell that?
No, that's actually your present. So...
No, George.
So I know that you told me I only got one, and I have polymorphed you into monkeys and frogs and a snail once and a slug, and I threatened to pour salt on you. And then a pig twice, and I named you Gertie. So I have been still doing that even while collecting bits for this. So I guess I'm not reformed. But I'm hoping that by giving it to you, I will be reformed. So... this is the Rodak doll.
And I pull out the burlap sack, and it's stuffed with all of the little bits of things that I kind of pieced together. Some Growlin shit, and some other things sticking the two beetles as eyes. Some disgusting matted fur from the head of the Growlin that I dyed with the wine to make it red is adhered with some Growlin shit. And the pottery pieces I'd kind of cracked open and like dyed with the wine and Growlin shit to kind of look like a semblance of your armor. And I hand it to you.
I made this for you.
It is a
I have to
horrific.
hang up the Skype call. Bye, guys.
It's like beard and all.
We're gonna describe.
It's a horrific abomination.
Well, I can't say I was expecting this.
I know. I'm not trained in any kind of crafting.
Holy shit, is that a homunculus?
Will it move? Is it alive?
I cast Major Illusion on it and make it dance in his arm.
No, be careful. It's not fully dry yet. That's why it still smells.
Some shit smears onto the ground.
I made that for you.
No, I thought it moved.
Well, yeah, because I made it move with my magic.
Oh, that was your magic. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I pick it up. Well, Sylvie, this is very thoughtful.
Yeah,
And-
that's what you look like to me.
Shit.
Exactly.
Thank you, Vandress.
The thought is lovely.
I just
must
wanted
say.
to say I'm really sorry. And I won't polymorph you anymore unless you absolutely give me no choice. But I really mean that this time.
You do?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because I wouldn't have not slept for a lot of time to make that Rodak.
So as
For
long as I
this
have
Rodak.
this, it means you're sorry and that you won't polymorph me.
Unless I absolutely have to. Fey Pact.
So as long as I hold on to this, that means you will not polymorph me, right? Can we Fey Pact that? Can you say I
As
agree?
long as I don't absolutely have to. Fey Pact.
Right. Fey Pact.
Fey Pact.
And if you do, when you didn't absolutely have to, I get to cut off Vandris's arm, slap you with it,
Son
and then
of a
kill
bitch.
you.
His left arm,
His
just
left arm.
in case I have to slap you with his right arm and kill you first.
All right.
I wasn't
Do you
involved
agree?
in this one.
Fey Pact.
Fey Pact. Then I do that.
Okay.
All right. Well, I accept your apology,
Okay.
and we'll forget it ever happened.
Okay. I also put 2 platinum pieces in there for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I put it in his butt. There's a little
What
flap
happened to
there.
that lovely talk we had about traveling and seeing the world together? Now I don't want any of that. I'm going to retire in Gullhaven with all the hookers.
Well, I just figured that if you didn't have any arms, then you would need us. Right?
How am I going to help you guys if I don't have any arms?
I don't know.
You're not losing any arms, lad.
Well, I
You're
mean,
not.
you could take your shirt off and show that immaculate chest.
I-
I've been
I
in your
want to go
robes.
go
I
ahead.
know what it looks like.
Technically, if you're lighter, you might be better at stealth.
Yeah.
That's technically true,
You'd
but
be like
that's
the
not.
wind.
I don't want that.
I mean, the great
Thanks,
thing.
Coke.
The great thing is, you can turn into a bat, Well, would he still have wings if he didn't have any arms on his Avantris when he turned into a bat?
It's the
Or
cloak
would he
that
be-
turns into the
Think
wings.
about
not
it. These
the
are
arms.
philosophical questions that are better left unanswered.
Okay.
Should we try it? And I grab my sword.
No,
Yeah,
no,
put
no,
it
no,
down.
no, no. Only if you don't give me my pony.
All right.
Take care of little Rodak.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're
Truly.
welcome.
And I put it in the bag of holding.
I call him Fecal Deck, in case you're wondering.
I threw up a little bit in my mouth.
No.
I've literally been planning this since we got to college. I had an entire list of everything I needed.
Did you say fecal deck?
Yeah.
All right. I'm not even gonna ask. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
As soon as that happens, you hear a loud snoring. And Annulin, not too far from you, you've noticed Ratley splayed out not too far from you. He seemed to have come in at some point in the night during Ganji's watch. He said hi to Ganji and and just passed out immediately. He said that they'd have a ship ready within the next day. And then he went to sleep.
So what time is it right now?
It is probably, you guys got up and it was day, and it's probably evening. So I think you probably would say that the ship will be ready in the morning.
Well, he apparently said our ship will be ready in the morning. So what do we do all night?
Well, I made. Oh.
No, I was gonna just say, if you want to sleep in, feel free to get some extra shut-eye. We're not in a rush.
Yeah, you could cuddle with Fecal Deck for a while and get to know him.
I think he'll be fine.
His favorite color is glitter. I told him that before I put his head on.
Oh, thanks. I hate it.
Thanks. Cool. I love it. I could use a drink and a meal, and I know they have a kitchen down there. Do you want to go
Food
down
would
and
be good.
grab some breakfast for dinner?
Oh, I love that.
I knew you would like that. Let's go. Oh, hold on. Is Orpheus still unconscious?
He's still unconscious.
Yes. Well, as far as we know. I'll stay here and I'll kick him if he wakes up.
We could
Maybe
bring
I'll
him.
just kick him while he's unconscious.
Do you want to just bring him?
I suppose so, but if I have to look at that bald head while we eat, it might make me ill.
Oh, I still have some more of the wine painted Goralin fur and some shit. I was gonna make him a wig tonight before I went to bed.
I actually don't hate that plan.
Yeah.
That would be sweet of you, Sylvie.
Yeah, because his bald head's freaking me out. It looks like foreskin.
That's
You're
still-
stream, by
you're
the
in
way.
rare form today.
Rodak throws up a little more in his mouth. He just can't handle the idea of growling shit anymore.
It's basically hard. I have to actually, like, kind of like a poultice, I have to spit in it a little bit, and I have to grind it up because it's getting stiff. It's a lot of work, but it was worth it for you. Stop it.
You know, maybe we could just hold off on breakfast for dinner. I don't know if I'm starving. Maybe a drink.
Yeah, I can use a drink. Is that a bottle? Can someone ask around? What is it? I want to search.
He's sleeping.
He's snoring, remember?
I don't want to take his stuff. I'll wait until he wakes up to get my
Grab your
stuff.
stone, though.
Well, I don't want to take it from him without telling him.
It is yours.
It is
You
mine.
won't even notice it's gone. Please, it's Rattling we're talking
We'll,
about.
we'll leave a note.
Is my stone anywhere?
It's, you can see kind of coming out of a path that he has.
Okay, I'll grab it.
Okay. You grab it.
I'll write a note saying we took it back and.
We'll,
put it in
we'll
the
see him
pouch.
before we leave, I'm sure. But yeah, I appreciate it. Please do that.
Okay.
Let's head down and get a drink and a
Sure.
meal. Shall we?
Agreed.
Yeah, does anyone mind if I clean my Goralin head while we're having dinner?
Why is it always the Growlin? No, you're leaving the ground, everything here.
Because my thought was...
I mind a lot.
Well, I can do it tonight then, because my thought was, and Vandris, tell me if you think this is too far, but you know, like ships sometimes have mermaids and things attached to the front. I was thinking I would skin the flesh from the head and make it a Goralin skull, and then we'd attach it to the front of the ship so it looked really menacing for the bitch that floats.
Yeah, definitely do that before you give it to Amiria.
Because I was just thinking that the more that we make it look menacing and like really badass and like punk rock, the less that Amiria is gonna kill you, and the more likely I get to have one of your arms.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we're excited.
Why don't you can work on that tonight?
Okay, when I'm making his wig, that's probably a good idea.
Right.
Okay.
It can be your 4th craft project.
Yeah, I'll get really, really drunk so that way it looks like a David Bowie wig if there was a guy named David Bowie in the Feywild.
There probably is.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I walk up and I start to walk down to where I remember. Is there like any easy way down? Do you have to go all the way down the...
I'm gonna fly on my broomstick.
Okay, you fly on your broomstick, and you get the sense as you wake up. And are you all bringing Orpheus with you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's
So-
over my
I'm
shoulder.
not letting him out of my sight.
So Orpheus is slung over your shoulder. The group of you. Are you bringing the vulture?
Yeah.
Okay. So the motley fucking crew of you guys hobble down, and you find that there have been some quick, hasty modifications. You're not sure how safe they are. Bits of stair, ropes, ladders, up and down to make the area more accessible. As you're walking around, you see that the place is swarming with the lockjaws. Oh, thank you, Unique.
Thank you. That's
We're not going
awesome.
to do the sounds for the notifications of that.
Yeah.
Let me work on that.
And you see that these lockjaws that you probably would have been sneaking up and brutally murdering left and right just like a day or so prior are like, oh, it's the warm bloods, and they're like, slapping you on the back and saying like, oh, good job, and they're excited to see you. They have a sort of a reverence for you as you're kind of walking through. They're making way. They're like, oh, thank you for killing Orpheus. Oh, it's great. And they're, or for defeating Orpheus rather. They see Orpheus slung over your shoulder, and they're like, as soon as they realize that it's him, most of them don't without his hair. And most of them hadn't really seen him; they'd really only heard of him. So a totally unconscious, crumpled guy is not matching the fearsome, powerful sorcerer that they had mostly heard about. They're very grateful for you. It was very obvious that Ratley had talked you guys up after you had gone down into the volcano. And you eventually make your way down into the large mess hall, if you remember where you had that battle. You see a few blood stains that are still being scrubbed out from your battle in there, or in the hallway. As you're making your way, you see, kind of as you pass through the kitchen, that old cook that you had tied up and put into what did you do with them?
We charmed him.
You charmed him, and then you knocked him out and put a bunch of you put him like in a pile of flour or something. And you make your way into the mess hall, and you see that this place is alive with a sense of energy and excitement. And as soon as you enter the room, a excited cheer roars up, and you hear the clanking of glasses and mugs and flagons as everyone's excited. There are crooks that are eating. People are walking around, and through the throng, you actually see a human woman that you know to be Cecily, walking around carrying a big tray of what seems to be like roasted fish and the like. And she stops and she looks at you and kind of joins in the cheers, and she puts the tray down and is applauding. And immediately a group of lockjaws get up from a table and just move so they can give you space to sit down at one of these tables.
I turn to the gang and I say, this is why I got into bounty hunting. I stand up on the bench and I say, who wants to get us a round of drink?
For the warm blood, yeah!
Everybody cheers.
All right.
Excited.
For Ratley's warm blood, yeah!
And immediately a full round of drinks is on your table. Cecily walks over to you and brings you like probably 8 good portions of fish. Oh, you look like you could use a meal. Oh, thanks for
Thank you very
saving me.
much. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you for saving my life. Without your quick heroics, I would have turned into a horrible zombie creature.
Well, what can you do?
Have they been treating you fine?
Oh, for being a bunch of lizard folk, they're far more hospitable than you'd expect.
So, we have to ask. You must be trying to get back to Gullhaven, correct?
Oh, as soon as possible, yes, please. I mean, these are nice people, but I'd like to get home. Yes.
We assumed so. We've got a boat leaving tomorrow morning. You're more than welcome to join us, and we'll make sure you get back to Gullhaven.
Oh, well, thank you. I was worried I'd have to secure passage on my own, and I don't know. I mean, they're trustworthy, I think, but I don't know if I can do a whole sea voyage with them.
Say no more.
Oh, well, thank you. If there's anything else you need, I owe you my life.
Don't mention it.
Just meet us at the docks tomorrow, and we'll get you back home.
I will do. Thank you so much. Thank you. You're such
And
kind.
the booze coming tonight.
Oh, I will. I'll make sure. They've already told me that Bradley's Wormbloods, and I assume that's you all, because I don't get any fancy Warmblood title. They just call me Warmblood Girl. But
They are a creative bunch.
No, they're not. But they've been treating me okay. No one's taking a bite out of me, so it's not too bad. So I'll keep it coming. And so she shuffles off, very appreciative. And as you're sitting, eating, and drinking, lizard folk after lizard folk come up and say how grateful they are to you. And just for the sake of brevity, that you know, it's a number of times that these individuals come up and they say how grateful they are that you've deposed King Krem, that there were some that admitted to doing terrible things. Oh, thank you, Demon.
Thank you, Demon.
Thank you.
Admitted to doing terrible things, and that they were just following orders, and they're so glad that that they are full with regret, and if there's anything that they can do, to make up for what they did in the service of King Krem, that they'll hope to try to do it, and just like how much better. It's only been it's only probably been 2 or 3 days since King Krem has been deposed. But just Ratley's leadership already has been such a massive difference, and they're incredibly grateful.
I'm not looking at them. I'm kind of off to one side, for reasons I'll explain in a second. But I roll my eyes when they say they're just following orders. But what I'm actually doing is I would actually like to make a medicine check on Orpheus to see what's up with him.
Okay.
Thanks, Demon, for stopping by.
Yeah, thank
Have
you
a
so
great
much,
night.
Bye, Demon.
Night. You're the best, man. Oh, sorry.
I'm eating at the time, so I don't try very hard. Apparently, my medicine's decent though.
It's pretty good.
It's a 9.
A 9. You have a mouthful of fish. This is a hell of a lot better than the bog possum you've been served in a lot of the rations.
I don't care that much about it.
Yeah, and you don't care that much.
I'm more curious.
He is out cold. He doesn't seem to be in any kind of immediate peril or disease. You get the sense that he's not dying. Some of his wounds have started to close up a little bit. He was heavily wounded by all of you. A lot of it had been healed by his slot-like flesh, but once he returned to his mortal form, it had closed up. It just seems you get a sense of extreme exhaustion.
Okay.
On this unconscious person.
Okay. So that's. I was just really looking for an explanation of why he's still unconscious, and so it's just exhaustion.
That's your guess with that roll, with that medicine check.
All right.
I'm gonna chew up some fish and feed it to the birds, and then are there any like veggies or anything on the table?
No, there's no vegetables in sight.
I couldn't hear you.
There's no vegetables on your table. You remember seeing a few like root vegetables in the kitchen when you were back there, but like in your immediate vicinity, there's just a bunch of fish.
I'll just pull a couple of the snacks, the floor snacks, out of my pack, and I'll take butterscotch out of my pack and let her nibble on some of the snacks on the table.
Oh, you
Breathe a little. My rabbit? She's always been named Butterscotch.
Oh, I apologize. I didn't realize we were starting a zoo. My bad.
The most resilient rabbit on the planet.
Hasn't seen daylight.
Hasn't seen daylight. It's
A
been
year.
zapped. It's been zapped by a million things. We'll just say that.
Made it through an active volcano.
Yeah, an active. We'll say that Butterscotch is alive.
Suspension of disbelief.
It was almost sucked into a chaos portal. I love it.
We'll say at this point that Butterscotch has miraculously survived and is very weak, but is eating some of your little snacks that Radley had left.
Hey, Mr. Mitten Fighters, thanks for stopping by. A fellow dwarf fighter. Okay, so I would... Yeah, I guess in Orpheus he'll keep me like slumped over on the bench. Are there like long benches?
Yeah, they're long benches. Yeah.
Alright, so shall we plan what we do next?
Sounds like he's getting on a boat.
Well, so here's the only issue that I have, right? We get on the boat, obviously. We need to get back to Gullhaven. We also need to return Orpheus to the royal family of Anzu immediately. We also have to deal with Alphonse. There is a literal demon god looking for him.
How far are we from Anzu?
Very far.
And remember, he might know how to get to Svarog.
And is a Dracula.
And Orpheus is a Dracula?
No, Alphonse.
Right. He could be a Dracula.
Is.
So we have to deal with. Alphonse.
He's almost
in
certainly
Gullhaven.
something.
We have Orpheus, who knows secrets about Annulin's mother, or at least knows a secret tunnel to possibly get in and help her. And I have a feeling that he won't give us that information if we turn him in first.
You're probably right, but the longer that we keep him, the more we risk him playing tricks on us. And I'm very wary.
Yeah, me too.
I agree.
Rodek, do you still have Fecal Deck on you?
I do.
Can I see him?
I fish him out of the bag of holding.
He looks good.
I'm going to pull out my book of grudges and I'm going to scratch Rodek's name out of my book of grudges and put it back in.
Okay.
Wait a minute, what was that?
What was what?
That book.
It's my book of grudges.
Your book of grudges.
Yes.
It's got a list of names in it?
Yes, anyone who's wronged me shall be written into my book of grudges, and one day, at my hand, you will suffer. Unless you do something kind, or I forgive you, or you die at somebody else's hand or something.
So whose names are in that book?
Well, a lot of names. Why?
Am I in there?
Of course.
What did I do to you? I promised you my honor.
Well, I pull out the book and I go to a chapter marked Vandris's Wrongs. And I put on some glasses.
Well, there was that one time that I pinched your nipple and you slapped my hand. First strike. There was the second time that I told you were attractive and you didn't look at me. Second strike. There was that one time that you turned into a bat, flew down, tried to kill Deidre on your own, and then almost got all of us killed. That was
sounds
a
like
big
the only
strike.
valid
There was that one time that you started walking with your left foot instead of your right foot. That is just irreprehensible. There was that one time you didn't flush the toilet after you used it. There was
toilets I flush.
yeah, that one time, and you didn't flush it, and you can't say that you're not familiar with them, and that's why you didn't. And then, I mean, the list goes on, and I shut it and I put it back in.
Oh damn!
You've got a lot of work to do.
You know what? Maybe just don't buy that horse, and maybe just end me.
It might be for the best.
We'll get you a pony.
Thank you.
We need to figure out what to do with this gigantic, horrible vulture monster.
What vulture monster?
I'm just sitting in.
I point over to the vulture monster sitting at our table.
Vulture is fine. We don't have to call it a monster.
Creature.
They can hear you, you know.
Oh, well.
They both tilt their heads looking at Rodek.
The one on the left is named Bubbles, and the one on the right is named Higgins.
That is completely untrue.
No, I wrote it down in my book of grudges because last night one of them farted at me and I didn't know which head it came from, since they both have the same butt, and so I wrote them down under Bubbles and Higgins. Once it's written, so it shall be.
Their name can be whatever, it's fine. I'm just saying that...
I already named them. The one on the right is Sunny, and the one on the left is Scram.
Share, got it.
Scramp?
Scramble.
Scramble.
Graham.
Sunny and
Scram.
Sunny and Scramble.
Because
Okay.
they're eggs.
Ah, that's amazing.
Sunny and Scramble. The DM also needs to know this.
Yeah, Sunny and Cher.
Okay, Sunny and
Also-
Scramble and Butterscotch. Okay.
Also known as.
You've got a very serious food thing going here. It's a little suspicious for an overgrown turkey and a rabbit stew in the waiting.
He's
I
really.
saved butterscotch from being stew. I got it like right after we ate that first inn when we first met, and I had rabbit stew, and then the next morning I felt so bad that I bought butterscotch out of the market.
Well,
Oh, right.
this is
This group
really.
has issues.
This is really unfortunate, and I pull my book of grudges out and I write Annulin's name in.
Changed their names from Bubbles and Higgins to something stupid!
Exclamation point.
I'd like to like mime taking something out of my pack and then like writing in it with my other hand. And
Takes
I'll
the
look
book
at
out
it
again.
with Sylvie, and then mime putting it back into
Mocked
my
me
pocket.
at the table after changing the names of Bubbles and Higgins to something stupid!
Exclamation point. Exclamation point. And I close it and put it back in.
Then I'm gonna use Druidcraft and make the scent of a skunk around Sylvie.
Meet the scent of a skunk next to me when I was writing to my book of grudges after changing the name of
Bubbles in all caps and Higgins in all caps to
All right.
something stupid. Underline, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. And I put
I
it
take
away.
it back. I'm picking up bounty hunting. When we get bored, we have nothing to do, and this is horrible.
Do you need a partner? Please
Yes, I
take
do.
me.
You notice that like the room around you goes quiet a little bit, and they're like all of the lockers are kind of looking at you like
Awkward.
I turn around and say, "Carry on, everyone. Keep partying, please."
Another round.
Fine, and I'll play a tune. And I get up like angrily on the thing, and I stomp my little fey boots. Carry on my wayward son. And my voice is like cracking just like it did. I don't know the rest of the words, but you need that stupid bird, son. Fuck that bird and its heads. Oh, and it's on the flute. It's the jazz flute.
it's a Jethro Tull rendition of the Kansas classic, but with bird lyrics.
In the wrong
And-
key. Really level 1 bard style.
And make a performance check.
Gladly.
The
Oh
lockjaws
wow, I was
get
hoping it
involved.
would be a natty 1. My performance check would be a 26.
Everyone kind of looks at you and just watches you in silence, and then all of a sudden, everyone starts cheering. Ah! You get the sense that the musicians and the music they're used to is probably completely abominable.
Another round for the musician! And then I sit down and drink my beer.
Very shortly, another round of whatever alcohol you prefer is at your table, and Sunny and Scramble are happily trying to get their beaks towards some of the liquor as well.
I'll put a little drop on each tongue. Let them live a little.
Anyway, all that aside, we do need to figure out what we're doing.
We do.
So my vote is that we go back to Goalhaven. We drop off the boat with Amiria so that she does not put out a bounty on Avantris and that he can belong to us.
I'd like to see her try.
And so then she'll have a boat. Hopefully it'll be bigger than her last one because size matters. And then from there, I think that we buy a pony. And then we head to Anzu
All right.
because we got to drop off Orpheus.
I look at Annulan. Are you? So you want to go to? You want to go to Anzu and just drop him off?
I mean, we have to. We have to finish out Vandris's bounty so he can be done with his former life.
The money would be helpful too.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, do we want to go to Svarog first?
No, I don't have anything there that I need to accomplish.
Well,
I still frankly don't believe him. I don't know, I just don't trust the guy.
well,
And he's bald, I mean, who trusts a bald guy?
Yeah, God, it's a talking foreskin at this point.
Exactly.
no. Now let's be fair.
I was. That was actually very kind.
what I'm trying to say is that perhaps we, on the boat, we hope he wakes up at some point on our sail back, on our voyage back, and we can question him, we can interrogate him then. But I just think that we shouldn't be so hasty to jump straight to Anzu.
Well, I think that we have to be hasty to jump straight to Anzu.
I have to agree.
Because, okay, it's the utmost importance that Avantris becomes a pirate. Because if I can't take one of his arms, I can take one of his legs, give him a peg leg, and then it really makes sense for your story, right? So,
I'm not becoming a pirate. That wasn't part of the deal.
If you take his arm, you can have a hook.
yes. Well,
Like,
that would
that's
be
just
kind of
something about you,
weird.
Ruby. I would appreciate it if I could remain whole.
We could take an eye, too.
That's
to finish the teeth.
hilarious.
Yeah.
I just imagined a hook coming out of your shoulder. I can hang my bag on it. That would be
It'd
great.
be like a coat rack.
Yeah, I like it.
Am I not useful to you people at all? How am I supposed to pick locks and stab people in the face if I'm missing my arms?
You can stab people with a hook.
Ganji's got a point. Yeah.
Well, I guess before we talk about our forward
anyway.
plans, we need to deal with Alphonse as soon as we get back.
No,
and
I
visit
agree with that.
Vito.
That's why I'm
Alphonse
torn.
isn't in Gullhaven. Do you not remember? He went to that other place,
Right.
Ogway.
We don't know. Oh,
Isn't that where you're from?
you know, in another life, it kind of feels like.
Oh
I might
yeah,
be, but
I
no.
thought you were an alligator for a second. I had too many alcohols.
You didn't mean.
Oh,
No,
excuse me. We are crocodiles, not alligators. It's very
No, that's
offensive.
just Sylvie being drunk and Nikki forgetting what campaign we're playing right now.
Third character. No, I've never been. Aren't you from like right outside there?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Where is Orpheus? Like,
He's slumped
slumped
over
He's
on a bench
asleep on
next,
Ganji.
like in
Literally
between
next to
Ganji and Rodak.
I pick him up and I show him.
So, what do you think this family is going to do with him? Are they going to kill him
I
when you
hope
take
so.
him in? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, the bounty said dead or alive, so I don't really think that they would take him alive and then kill him if they already would be okay with him being dead. It didn't really seem like they wanted to kill him, but quite frankly, I don't care what they want to do with him. If they want to bring him to justice, if they want to mutilate him, I don't care. As long as they pay me, I'm happy.
Why did they want him in the first place?
He stole some things, some important things. We got that thing back. It turned out it wasn't very important. We still don't have the thing, but they want him dead or alive. I don't really ask questions. I just get paid.
Yeah, when you steal from those people, then you are belonging to those people. That's the law.
I think, was it that they wanted the head of Orpheus? I don't remember the dead or alive. It was 2.5 years
God.
ago.
I could have sworn it was dead or alive.
Not dead or alive
I
is
can
fine.
check my notes. I'll
Dead
have
or
to
alive
do a
is
little
fine.
deep diving.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get back up on the table. Wanted, dead or alive. Another round for the entertainer.
Make a performance check.
17.
Ooh.
They give you kind of more of a half-hearted block.
Ah, it wasn't as good as the first one.
That was good.
It was shorter, but it's a half round for the
More
entertainer.
alcohol and food comes your way.
I'm gonna, while Sylvie's up there singing, I'm gonna pat down Orpheus while he's unconscious and see if he's got anything in his pockets.
Okay. You make an investigation check.
Oh shit! Do we forget to do that?
Yeah, we did.
Ooh.
I didn't find anything.
What is it?
A 5.
It seems as if Orpheus's
Orifices.
Can I
stuff.
search? Roll to search Orpheus's orifices.
It seemed as if his person, he didn't have a whole lot on him. Most of the stuff that, he was so close to his private quarters that he probably just kept a lot of that down there. So really just like the chalk and the pocket watch and the stuff that you found.
Did we ever sit down with the items that we got? Ganji, did you feel anything especially magical about the helm? Does it still feel like it has power?
I don't know. Let me commune with God and see.
Make an Arcana check.
That second coin. Got
I
it.
think that's a 19.
19, it is filled with an incredible amount of magical power.
Yeah, let's look at those things while we're sitting here.
Can we inspect? Can we take the
Well,
time to?
only Vandris knows about the pocket watch.
Yeah, but it's the other
But-
things.
Get wrecked.
But the armor is so you're going to look at the armor, and you want to look at what else?
So we had a sack of gold, or
Yeah, we would
monies,
count the coins.
some armor, and
The helm of domination or whatever, or that's
Yeah.
Lich King, but whatever, the helm of something.
Rise of the Abyss.
Eyes of the Abyss.
Eyes of the Abyss. We had the blunderbuss.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I took that.
And we had, what else do we have? And the armor and the
armor.
armor. Yeah.
So we'll just say you take the short rest. You're kind of inspecting the stuff that you have. You get a sense that you remember kind of that you find that there's an inscription called the Bijou Blunderbuss on the item. You get the sense that it is a very magical. It's a very strange kind of magic. And you remember that Vito was a magic practitioner, but not in the standard ways that you were mostly familiar with, like bards and sorcerers and the like. And then you remember that he was called an artificer. And this is something that you get the sense is that kind of ability. You're not really sure how Krem was able to use the blunderbuss, but it's not something that you feel like you'd be able to operate. The helm you find has a tremendous amount of power. I don't think any of you have put it on, but you get a sense that it is very much, despite it being channeled in order to open that portal of limbo, it wasn't basically used up like the rest of the artifacts were that he had used. And then you look at the chalks and the inks, and these
That was the other thing.
you see there is nothing inherently magical about these, but they seem to be very expensive and elegant, and I would say that both of you would probably realize that this is probably a powerful magical reagent, or a component using a spell. And then you find that the armor is this.
That
Well,
is some fancy armor there, Andrew.
it looks like it's a Manticore's Justice armor, and it's studded leather. I think it's probably very rare. While wearing this armor, you gain a +1 bonus to AC, if that were a thing that existed. You can also use a bonus action to speak the armor's command word and cause the armor to assume the appearance of a normal set of clothing or some other kind of armor. You decide what it looks like, including color, style, and accessories, but the armor retains its normal bulk and weight. The illusory appearance lasts until you use this property again. Remove the armor or die. In addition, if the illusory appearance is used to appropriately enhance a disguise, you get advantage on checks made using a disguise kit.
Well, I'm not going to say that that's mine, but if Annulin touches it, I'll cut her hand off.
Well, I'm glad that you're not going to say it's yours,
Thank you for
because
the raid, Force
Thank you,
Breaker.
Force
Thank you for the
Breaker. That's
raid.
amazing.
This
Thank
is
you.
amazing. Thank you so much.
I'm
Welcome,
not gonna,
everyone.
Welcome.
I'm glad that you just said you weren't going to say that it was yours, because the thing is, I jumped into a pool of acid and I was wearing studded leather armor, and now I'm not, so my AC is very low. So I will go ahead and put this on right now, and I shimmy into it.
You had an attuned to it.
It doesn't say attunement. Requires attunement.
It may. I need to check.
Oh, yeah, and just a studded leather rare.
Does that fit you?
Well, it shrinks down to me.
Did you have that either? I thought Vanders had it.
He threw it to us.
I put it in the bag.
Yeah, he said he threw it to all
okay.
of us, so.
Yeah, so it's mine now. Fight me for it, Vandris. Do you want a duel?
Sylvie's really drunk right now.
You don't want to do that. I'll kill you in your sleep.
I'll duel you for it, Vandris.
It won't be a duel. You'll just be dead.
That's what you think. I can fly.
I'm gonna
So
like,
can
get
I.
my
As a bat. A bat
No,
in the
just
night.
as me.
A dog on the run. Bartok's son.
What?
That's the song I just wrote
Oh,
for Vandris.
that was.
Yeah, no, it's not attunement.
So does it shrink down to size? How does the fitting
I
work
thought that's what magical items did.
of the armor?
I think magical items they shrink to the. Don't they shrink and expand to size?
I don't know.
I know.
We'll say that they do.
You're the DM.
I I would say that because this is Orpheus's, it was set to Orpheus's height. I think this would be different, and it would not shrink.
Okay, so I'm just like
You're
wearing
just
it.
wearing
It's just
it.
like gigantic.
Yeah.
I look gorgeous. It's like a ball gown.
And I just want to spin around.
I pat Avantris on the arm and say, "Don't worry, she's gonna get tired of it soon."
I'm not too worried about it.
I get tired of nothing.
And I pull out my book of grudges. I flip it open to Anion's page.
Told Avantris I'd get tired of the armor. Exclamation point. I will never get tired of the armor.
Exclamation point. Avantris' page.
Wanted to take the armor. Exclamation point. Will never get the armor. Exclamation point.
Does that book look like it's magical?
It's not magical.
Thank you for letting me know. Does it look like it's magical?
Death Note.
It looks like a big old book.
Okay.
I know something that'll cheer you up, Avantris. So I'll reach over to the like chalky inky stuff and get some color on my finger and reach over to Orpheus and draw like a unibrow across his face.
He has a glittery unibrow now. It's beautiful.
That's incredible, Aniolin. Thank you.
Did we
Try. He's got room for a mustache.
find a? I forget. Was there like a forge in the keep somewhere?
You heard of an armory. You never went there,
Okay.
but you heard that there was a forge.
Okay. I am going to tell the group what I'm going to do before I do it. I might try to go find this armory and see if they can repair my armor. If anyone else has a need to go to the armory. I don't know how long that'll take, but if it's the kind of thing they can do in a night and will do, that sounds like a good use of the night for me.
People do seem crafty. They seem like hard workers, and they seem talented.
Yeah, I suppose that I'm mainly curious about what these plates do. But he said that he found it not in the armory, but the apothecary.
Maybe the armory made it though.
Alright, can I kind of take the plates out and inspect? Could I say that we're also expecting those
Yeah,
as well?
we'll say. You inspect the plates, there's nothing magical about them. They're golden plates and they spell out K-R-E-M or some variation of that. Either K and R and E and an M.
So it's an M for sure.
Yes. Or a W.
Okay.
Or a W, yeah.
So it could be creme, crew, or merc.
Oh, it could be crew, yeah.
It could be
Or
Merc,
work.
or
work.
or Remk.
Yep.
Lots of combinations.
A lot of
guys.
combinations, guys.
It could be Mr. Eck.
Wreck. R-E-W-K. No.
If you turn the W on its side, it'll look kind of like an E, and then it's Cree, and we're just playing a Marvel campaign now.
Yeah, basically. So Ganji goes to the armory,
Armory.
and you find out that that they have skilled blacksmiths and leather workers and tailors there, and they're trying to set up shop. And they say that for you that they'll repair your armor free of charge, and it'll just take them probably a full day in order to do
I have a
that.
question. Do we have to like maintain armor? Like, does it degrade over time?
No. So the what happened with Sylvie and Ganji is that the acid that was used corroded their armor.
Okay, so like unless something specific happens to
Yeah.
armor, it's okay. Okay, cool.
Okay, so they think they could get it done by the time we leave. Okay, I'm gonna take off my armor and give it to them.
Okay. They take your armor and they take the measurements and make sure that it's good, and they kind of see where it's been corroded, and they try to find some scrap pieces to kind of fit it and patch it up, and they think they should be able to do it.
Nice.
Well, does anyone put the helm on?
I'll do it.
No. Do not put it on.
Well, I'm already wearing an oversized bit of armor, so I might as well wear an oversized
That was
helm.
mostly a joke, but if there's power left,
Oh, look, the thing is, if it smotes me where I stood, smats me where I stand, smotes me where I stoned, I don't know how you say it. If it kills me, then Vanders can have this armor.
The problem is that it might kill you and then everyone in this room, and I'm not willing to risk that.
Now,
I am. I'll put it on.
Here's my thought. We still, I keep bringing up this dragon turtle that would obliterate the boat if we try to go back to Golhaven, right? Maybe the helm is how we get rid of it. If it's still out there.
Oh, maybe it's a helm of command dragon turtle.
Or we could try to banish it, given Genji can do that.
I would rather not put on the helm unless it's our last resort. I would say let's keep that and the helm in our back
I
pocket.
want to put on that.
No.
I don't think that's a good idea.
In all honesty, no, we shouldn't do that. You're right, we should be responsible. Let's take it back to Vito. He can tell us all about it. He can use it if he chooses to, but it's clearly beyond our power.
Agreed.
You guys are so boring.
I'm sorry, Sylvie.
Let's drink. Let's feed a two-headed vulture and name it stupid things instead of bubbles. It's a great name. Let's give the armor to Avantris. Let's get our stuff prepared. Let's not put on the helmet. Okay, whatever.
We're all pretty good ideas.
Yeah, that was one pretty... We have some good fun, Sylvie. Come on.
I have great fun.
You do? Anyway, I think that we can keep both of those options in our back pocket,
Okay.
and then when we get to
How do I put 'em
Goldhaven,
in there?
we'll see if Alphonse is still there. We drop off the artifacts to Vito, get information there, and then I vote. We go. Well, I guess we have a few options. We could go to Svarog and
No.
save Angelin's mother. We could go to Anzu and collect the bounty.
Nah.
We heard that those creepy dragonborn that are working for Alphonse are going to Gauntsmith. Or,
Nah.
I wouldn't mind talking to Alphonse about them.
right.
Nah.
So it's questionable that this demon fellow, devil fellow, wants Alphonse or knows of him. Alphonse has his cup, and he's
Yeah.
working with chromatic, right?
Yeah.
Chromatic dragonborn, which I believe aren't normally the best chums.
Yeah.
Normally they're not great.
It sounds like that I'm kind of torn here. If this demon guy is looking for him, he could potentially be an ally. But if he's working with the chromatic dragons, he could potentially be an enemy. So we need to pay him a visit regardless.
Right.
I agree. And hopefully it doesn't delay us too long in going.
To be fair, if a representative of hell thinks your soul is owed to them, that also doesn't speak well of the people whose soul is owed, because if they're going
True,
to hell, it's
we're
usually
all
not a
probably
good
owing
thing.
souls at this point.
Wait, so are you guys talking about visiting Alphonse and Goldhaven again?
Well,
'Cause-
we don't know if he's still in Ogway. We've been gone for weeks, right?
yeah.
And hey, gentlemen, Joe Gaff.
Welcome, Joe Gaff.
Yeah.
Eternity.
No, I don't want to do that.
Don't want to do what?
Any of those things.
What would you like to do, Selby?
I don't know. Got gas.
But hold on.
And I'm a little drunk.
So I think we all are, at least a little bit. But do you all feel that?
Yeah, I farted, sorry.
That feeling that there's not some immediate sense of impending doom?
No, that was just the shaking of
Isn't
the
that
bench.
weird that there's not something that we're rushing towards
Sorry,
to stop?
it just keeps coming.
Wow. I mean, you're right. It feels like a great weight has been
Yeah.
lifted off my shoulders.
Like an earthquake, sorry.
It's been literally like a year,
Oh,
right?
I'm done now, though.
It
It's
seems
fine.
like it.
Since we arrived at Pridefall.
Yeah, that was a relief. What were you talking about?
Avantris is at least safe for now.
Yeah, because we're not going to cut his arms off unless you don't get me a pony.
Right.
Okay, here are my thoughts. I don't dislike going to Anzu. I would also like to talk to Alphonse. My problem is, what if we don't go straight to Anzu? What do we do with Orpheus in the meantime? We can't drag him into a hostile situation and.
Look, I'm just going to be frank with you. I'm not taking Orpheus to Alphonse. I'm sorry. Alphonse is some kind of daylight Dracula, and if you think that I'm going to take Orpheus anywhere near somebody who probably uses magic in some way, you're off your rocker. So it's not happening. Orpheus either dies or we take him to Anzu, and that's just how it works. We can go anywhere from there. But if you think I'm going to take him anywhere he could potentially get power, you're all stupid, and I'm done with you. I will go back to the Feywild, wash my hands with you, write all of your names in my book of grudges, and we'll be done. Over.
I didn't say that we would take him to Ogway if that's what Alphon is.
I'm not even gonna go by his house if we have Orpheus in our possession. I get that dwarves are not as classy as gnomes,
And she lets out another fart on the bench.
but that is the stupidest thing we could possibly do ever.
Another fart happens.
If he's bound and gagged and under our
He's
protection,
a Dracula.
And I bare my teeth.
and we shouldn't even have this. We don't know if he's in Gullhaven.
I'm just saying, whether he is or isn't, we're not taking Orpheus anywhere near there, and we can't leave Orpheus behind, so we inevitably would then have to take Orpheus to the magical Dracula, who's then going to give him magical Dracula powers, and then we have a Dracula Orpheus.
Unless
Oh my god, am I the only one talking sense here?
we just kill him.
Yeah. It was you two were
you
the
don't
ones
need to ask
against
my
it.
opinion. He says
We can't hear you. You let
He's
go of the button.
sharpening
Oh.
his green flame blade.
Got it. Green flame of blade. He knows far too much for us to just kill him.
Well, we have a boat ride coming up.
Right.
He'll probably wake up before them.
we can always wake him up. I'm sure I can figure out a way.
How do we know he's not in a coma? He's been out a long time.
We don't.
He looks like he's just really, really tired. That's my professional opinion.
So I'm just putting that out there. So if we get back to Gullhaven, Orpheus isn't dead, and you guys try and take him to Alphonse, I will let you go. But that will be the end of my adventure with your party. At least we have those expectations set.
All right, that's fair. We'll finish what business we have in Gullhaven, and then we'll plan from there. How does that sound?
Agreed.
I think that sounds like a better idea than drunkenly sitting here farting on this bench trying to make plans for things that we haven't even gotten to yet.
All right. Then let's
But
start
what do I
talking about
know?
it.
I'm the stupid gnome that paints with Growlin shit.
Your words, not
You're
ours.
very self-aware, Sylvia. That's
Damn.
impressive.
I know. That's how my mommy made me.
Anyway, I guess do we just want to, like, hang out until morning and...
Yeah. Go get the armor.
Yeah.
Walk to the docks and get the hell out of here.
Well, it'll take a full day, though, right? So it'll be in the evening that we'll be ready?
Tomorrow evening. I
Yeah,
guess.
tomorrow evening probably.
Is this set up like an actual town, or is this kind of like more ramshackle, just like water?
This is like a ramshackle keep. It seems to have more activity. You remember that Gangplank was a town, but it was pretty fucked up. You left it and it was pretty fucked up, and it got pretty more fucked up after you left it.
I want to find, like, a random crook.
Okay, you find one.
Hey, friend, have you ever seen one of these before? And I want to show him, like, one of the letters.
He looks at it and he says,
Oh yeah, I've seen a letter before, yeah.
Do you know what their purpose is? Did King Krem make these, or did he have them?
No,
made?
people use them and they write with them to say things.
Oh, no. I don't mean, like, letters, what's on them. I mean specifically, like, this golden plate that is of a letter.
Oh yeah, no, I know what that is. Everybody knows what those are.
What? Go on. What are these?
Yeah, no, King Krem's private hoard, yeah.
Say again?
Yeah, no, beneath the stairs in the entrance there's a great big door and above it says Krem and you just go...
How close am I to everybody?
You have your walkie-talkie, man.
You're sitting directly next to everybody.
Okay,
Oh
so
no,
you're
yeah,
talking
you're
to
good.
this? I was wondering, like,
No,
is
yeah,
this-
you stepped away. You're probably like.
Well, I would have
a couple
found
feet
somebody
away. Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
Did you all hear that?
Yeah,
No, I missed it.
I was eavesdropping.
I still really can't get through their accents.
King Krem has a huge treasure hoard under the stairs at the entrance, and that hold on. And you're saying that these are the key to get in?
Yeah, he puts them all over the keep, that's how it goes, yeah.
No, I was eavesdropping. He didn't say hoard. He said he has a treasure whore.
Oh, a treasure hoard.
Yeah.
Well, either way, it's probably valuable.
Kind of what I did for
Sign me up.
Matthias, where he gave me treasure and I was a whore.
Right, and you
Yeah.
enjoyed that. That was valuable to you, right?
Yeah,
so
of
we
course.
should investigate. We should go
I
check it out.
love gold.
Right.
And sex.
And
And I got to do them both at the same time.
thank you for
Is the thread score just like reverse, where when you have sex with it, it gives you money?
And I'm pretty sure that Annulin did the same thing too.
It
That
drops
would be
loot.
very valuable.
Oh, wait, hold on. Annulin did the same thing too?
Yeah, I was trying to sleep, but she was really loud.
Can we not go into this? Do we have to do this
Annulin,
right now?
I would expect.
Grab the slabs. Let's get out of here.
No,
Wait,
right.
what did I do while I was sleeping?
You screwed Santa Claus the night after I screwed Santa Claus.
You seem shocked, like you're learning this for the first time.
You did definitely do that.
You weren't quiet about it.
I'm
I'm pretty sure that's the same
It was a
face
board
you made.
game.
I was
You
on
won.
I was on my broomstick and I flew around outside and I looked in through the window. That was the same face you made. Good job. Okay, let's go.
Alright. My name's Paul and that's between y'all.
No, your name's Rodek. By the way, where's Speakledeck? You should hold him when we go in there.
No, he's fine in the bag. Let's go to the horde, damn it. I get up and I start trudging off with Orpheus over my shoulder.
I follow Rode.
Okay,
with
you
the
all
plates in my hands.
you all follow Rodek. You make your way down, and you remember that huge staircase that went up to that
Yep.
first level. Directly beneath it, behind the staircase, is a huge metal door, and above are 4 square-shaped slats, and with the indentation KREM. Crap.
You know, had we come in the front door, we probably would have seen this first thing.
Yeah, maybe.
That would have been much less fun.
That's true.
Well, before we put the keys in the slots, I have to tell you something. My favorite thing about being a sexually advanced woman is making Ganji uncomfortable. And I
You're
just
so
want
good at
you
it.
to know that it makes me incredibly happy to see that a Dragonborn can look both disgusted and ashamed at the same time. You're welcome. Go ahead.
Alright, thank you. That was beautiful.
Thanks.
It's been revealing.
How high up are the slots?
I mean, you'd
Whoa,
probably
don't
have
kink
to.
shame.
You'd probably have. I mean, if it was made for someone like King Cram, it's probably, I don't know, like 10 feet off the ground. Maybe like 8.5 feet off the ground.
Would Ganji be able to reach it, like if he
You have
stood
to get
his
like a
tippy toes?
boost.
I'll put him on my shoulders. It's fine. I've got this, guys.
Yeah, it's a shame we don't have like floating hands or people that can literally
Here,
just fly.
Sylvie, put these in with either your broom or your hand, your mage hand, or
I'll
however
do it
you
with
choose.
my broom. I want to touch it as I put it in. I didn't mean it like that. Come
Keeps
on.
going. It's thematic.
Yeah, well, that was actually intentional. So
I'll just reiterate for any new viewers, mature.
So I'm gonna play them and I'm gonna put them each in the slots.
You
Surprise.
KREM. Very brief moment, and the door rolls to the side. And as soon as it starts rolling, a bit of light kind of refracts from the torchlight in the room to back. It's kind of blinding. And once it kind of settles, you see a huge hoard room filled with tons of gemstones in bright blues and greens and reds and oranges and purples. And just, it's not a huge room, but probably a 15 by 15 15-foot radius circular room, just piles and mounds of glittering gemstones.
Wow. Is this ours? Can we just take this?
No, this is King Krem's cord.
Right?
I mean, I guess it's Ratley's now.
I was expecting something a lot more scantily clad than a bunch of gems on the floor.
This is a
I
better
was
than
hoping for
expected.
some sort of magic weapon.
So how much, like, if we could guesstimate?
And you would have no idea.
Is there anything else besides the gems?
Make an investigation check.
Well, I don't normally like to be nice,
11.
11, you kind of dig around, and all you can see are the gems. You remember that kind of hoard room of all of the coins up on the top, the first floor? And it seems like the good stuff, at least as King Krem saw it, was the pretty gemstones that he kept in his own private collection.
Well, I don't normally like to be nice, but their town is kind of destroyed, and they're giving us a boat, and it's thanks to some of their help that we were able to do what we did, so I think we should probably leave this stuff with them to help them rebuild, don't you think? I don't know about you, but Santa Claus gave me 2 platinum, and if I'm familiar with that, that's like 40,000 gold pieces or something. I did the math, and I think it checked out.
And also, it does sound like they do all know that this is here, so they would probably miss it.
Well, then, that's fair. That's fair. I've had a little bit to drink.
We could take some of it, though, I think. Just
So
all of it.
why don't, when Ratley he went to bed awfully early.
That's
When
good.
Ratley wakes up in the morning, we can talk to him, and maybe we could ask how he would like to divvy up all of this, or if he
Yeah.
would like to keep it all. If he wants to
I
keep
think
it all,
that's
that's
a good
fine.
idea.
If he wants to give us some for the road, I wouldn't stop.
I think that's a good idea. Put it in his hand. He's the king, after all.
So it's all just gems.
From what you can tell, yeah.
Diamonds?
Probably not diamonds in the kind
Because
of...
I guess they...
Yeah, because the diamond was being mined and sent to Orpheus, but these are
Okay.
kind of like the rubies and the emeralds and the like.
Gotcha.
The rubies.
Oh, cool.
Alright, well, let's hang out until morning. We can't
Slash evening.
Slash evening.
Okay.
We gotta get your armor and we need to get out of here.
So we'll go back and just drink and eat.
So you hang out, you drink and eat for a while. After the sun goes down and comes back up, and you wait, and you're kind of just drinking and talking and finally enjoying for the first time, like basically since you banded together, an actual bit of breathing room where there was an immediate imminent danger, at least as you foresaw. And it feels good, and it feels good to be surrounded and to be, and these may be a bunch of, kind of rough and, roughshod crocodilian lizard folk, but to kind of be heralded as heroes that saved the day and took down King Krem and defeated Orpheus and freed this entire island of people feels pretty good.
Oh, and by the way, I would say I would go down to the docks because we told Cecily to meet us there at dawn and say, hey, we're gonna stay till.
She's been there. She's been in the keep, so you would have told
Okay.
her. Yeah, you would have told her. And you guys would need to catch rides on vultures back down to Dayton.
Gotcha.
So
shit, right.
yeah, you guys are real high up. And so Ratley stumbles back down, and he comes in. He's clutching a little tin cup of coffee, and he's drinking it from his cocktail now. He says,
Oh, how did all you sleep? Did you enjoy my snacks and my bed?
It was
great. Thank you.
It was lovely. How did you sleep?
Oh, well, having to count all the dead from the horrible toad monster attack was pretty tough on me conscience, but I eventually drifted off to sleep. Little nightmare here and there. So what happened down there?
Well, it was quite a battle, but we defeated Orpheus. He no longer has his power, and we wished all of the frog creatures back into limbo.
Wait, is that him?
That's him.
Yeah, that big old bag of foreskin is Orpheus.
Why didn't you kill him?
I don't know.
He's very valuable, and he knows quite a lot. He's passed out for now, but we're taking him back to receive justice in Anzu, which is where he's wanted. And along the way, we will extract as much information as we can.
Well, I guess it's your choice. You was the ones that defeat him, and I said you could do whatever you want. So, are you leaving already?
We do need to get going.
Well, they have a ship ready for you down in the harbor, but you'll need vultures to get down there.
some of your blacksmiths are working on some of our companions' armor here, so as soon as that's finished, we'll be taking your boat and we'll be leaving.
Do you need any help while we're here for the day? Is there anything we can do?
No, I mean, you know, we's a resilient people, you know. Like, we've been treated horribly by all sorts of people, by Graham, by Orpheus. Everybody thinks that they was the ones that could just use us for whatever they wanted. And now we're free people. We'll survive. I got Winky and I got Elo down in Gangplank. They're keeping all of them, helping rebuild down there. I got old Croc Switchraver up here. We'll be fine.
Well,
Just remember to always be a just king. Be a moral king. Be a good person.
I'll always keep that in mind. I'll never forget the words of Victor Vicious, and Nick the Nasty, even though they was figments of me imagination or whatever it was. It's all very confusing.
yeah. Well, and on top of that, we opened up Krem's Vault for you, and there's like 15 by 15 square footage of gems stored in there, so...
Oh, that's what those plates was for.
Yeah.
And I hand them. We would have taken the plates
Yeah.
down,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I hand them the plates. You put these up in the order to spell creme, and the vault will open.
Well, thank you so much for that.
Do you... I understand that you want to kind of build a mercantile society here.
I'm doing the best I can.
Do you want to send any of those gems home with us, or would you like to keep them all? Given that it was King Krem's, or you're now the king, they're yours, so I'll leave it up to you.
I feel like we can start with gems and diamonds, but I feel like it's the least I can do. And shit, what's another bag of gems, eh?
Alright.
Your words, not ours.
Well, why don't you sit down and join me while I regale me with tales while I enjoy my breakfast. And once Ganji's armor's finished, I'll send you off with a nice fat bag full of gems.
Alright, we have a few hours. Maybe we could just tell them about how we all met and how we got here.
Would you like to hear the story?
I would
Of
love
our
to
party?
hear the story.
Well,
Well, what?
oh, was that all of us going, well,
Yeah.
and then we
Okay,
montage.
so you tell the tale of how you all met in Wickermore, X, Y, and Z, and...
Actually, RPG wants to hear it.
Go ahead.
We need to put, at some point, I think we should put together some sort of like a recap.
We can,
I would
we
love
can
to
do
hear.
it.
I would love to hear the
We have
story.
to, I mean-
Why doesn't someone start and tell me that story then, eh?
I will in just 1 second.
Speaking of which, before we do that, Mike, I looked and looked and looked and looked, and I don't have any of my original notes on me. So I would say use your discretion about the rules around Orpheus as a mark. I could have sworn it was dead or alive. Maybe they wanted him dead. I don't remember.
Let me look through my notes, and we'll discuss offline, and then we'll make the decision by the next session.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, we're flexible either way.
Cool.
Alright, well, I'm ready to tell the tale.
Are you gonna...
Now, this is a story all about how a group of us could take a minute to sit right there and tell you how I became the prince of a town called Avantris. In west of Avantris, born and raised on the playground is where I spent most of my days, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all shooting some b-ball outside of the bogplasm when a couple of guys who were up to no good, that's them, started making trouble in the neighborhoods around Avantris. I got in one little fight. My mom got scared and she said, "You're moving in with your auntie and uncle," and then like Rodak and Vandris and Annulin and those two bird things and Lumi and Ganji, and that was the whole story.
What were the two, the aunt and uncle of, what's their name?
Spearfishers.
Spearfish. Aunt and uncle Spearfish.
Oh, no.
They're
They
dead.
died horribly, by the way.
That's actually not what happened.
Is that the whole story? I didn't make sense of any of that.
She skimmed over a lot of these horrible ones.
I have a habit of doing that. Okay, Rodak, you tell a story.
Do you want to tell, like, the cliff notes, or...
Yeah.
It's up to you guys.
Do you have something prepared, Mike?
Well, high level.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you for the cheer.
Thanks, dude.
We met in a inn in
A mining
Wickermore.
town.
Well, not quite at the mining town. We met at
You were
an
on the
inn
way to the party, though.
in Wickermore, which is just south of Prideful, which is an up-and-coming mining town, which became... The land became available due to the death of a green dragon at the hands of Bilbo Sharpsbane, who was a folk hero, barbarian.
You sound strong.
He is.
He is.
And we all had our own reasons for going there. We happened to be going the same way. We teamed up. And long story short, we made our way there. We encountered some slavers along the way. Encountered a young halfling
No.
girl.
No.
All right, we went there, investigated a coven of hags. Ended up defeating the hags through.
Have you ever seen a hag? It was wild.
It was
I
crazy.
have never seen a hag.
I mean, I was looking winky every day.
That was
That's not funny.
No, really, what's a hag? I don't know.
Hags are disgusting, terrible creatures that steal children that don't need to be shielded from their parents and from their aunt and uncle, and they turn them into these evil, disgusting seventh of the seventh hag creatures, and then they steal them away from their known friend that loved them.
Listen, it was
They're
wild.
gross. I hate
As a
them.
bounty hunter, I have seen a lot of death, and we saw a lot of death. It was unreal.
It was clearly very hard for Sylvie.
So their goal
No,
was to spread lycanthropy,
What's that?
And to break
to
my
turn
heart.
into a werewolf.
What's a werewolf?
It's
Yeah, so
magic.
if we didn't do our job, you could be a wolf person right now.
What's a wolf?
Yeah, so anyway, that's what happened, and now we're here.
Wow. That's a
Anyway,
story.
we defeated hags.
Yeah, so we defeated hags, we prevented lycanthropy from spreading, then we gave our best friend to the Bear King, and he's now the champion of the Bear King in the Feywild. He teleported us to Gullhaven. Vandris got punched in the face by his ex-girlfriend. We destroyed a boat. We got rid of a bunch of people who were cultists of that sea bitch. What's her face, Deidre?
Oh,
And,
yeah, I
We
hate
killed a
her.
lot of
we
cultists.
killed King Krem, we foreskinned Orpheus, and now we're sitting here with you, and you're the new king.
I remember some of that. I was there for some
You
of
were
that.
there for some of
Yeah,
that.
that's a high-level overview.
Well, that is a wonderful
For someone
story.
with-
And now
no
you're
idea
king of
what any of that
free
is.
people.
I'm
You'll be a
really
just king.
righteous.
Ratly the righteous. You have plenty of gold, plenty of gems, and you have what you need to
Andy.
create a truly great society.
So good luck with your SimCity minigame.
Thank you. I loved SimCity 3. That was a great one.
Was it?
In West Philadelphia, born and raised. The Bear King is where he spent most of his days.
That's good. We'll work on it. We'll workshop
Yeah,
it.
we'll work on it. I have the lyrics here. If there was a TV show.
Okay, tell them tales, and we.
So
we
yeah,
get
you
your-
regale them with more
Regale.
tales, and eventually, the blacksmith comes and informs Gamby that his armor is done. Ratley goes off before this, and once Ganji, you get fitted back with your plate armor, and Ratley says he's going to fetch you some vultures. And
Well, while he's doing that,
okay,
Vandris.
Yes.
I hand him this tattered up pile of studded leather armor.
I ripped the armor in half so that we could both have a piece of it.
I don't believe you're strong enough to do that.
Well, I didn't do it with my bare hands. I did it with a blade.
I don't believe you.
Well, that's fine. But I want you to have half of this.
And I give him the tattered pieces of the studded leather armor.
your set of leather armor.
Yeah.
These don't have manticore markings on them at all.
Damn it.
All right, fine. And I take him back and I give him the actual studded leather armor.
I was gonna make it a surprise and try and hide it in your stuff while you were sleeping. But then I realized that you sleep with both of your eyes open.
That's true, I do.
Yeah.
So Sylvie hands you the pieces of the magical armor.
I gotta be honest, if Orpheus ever wore this, it's kind of skeeving me out, but it seems too important to not wear it.
That's okay. I pissed all over it to get rid of his smell, so.
Wow. Maybe I'll clean this up then before I wear it.
And because I know that you'll really like it because you're into that kind of thing, I was wearing it when I was starting at the dinner table.
Lovely.
You're disgusting.
Thanks. I can't wait to adventure with you guys some more.
And just so I didn't miss anything, and Avantris, do you ever pull out the pocket watch and inspect it at all? No? Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay. So you hand him the leather armor, and it's in your possession, and it seems magical. You know what it is. You know what it does. And after that happens, Ratley comes with a large sack of gems, and he says,
Well, you've done so much more for our people than even I did. You really did all the work, and I just can't tag the longest survive, so I really appreciate it. I'm the king now. That's really great.
Yeah.
Works out pretty well.
Yeah, no, it's pretty nice, I'll say.
Right. Well, just do a good job. That's all we ask.
Well, I'll do my best. I'll try to send word and
And remember, if you don't, we'll come back and kill you.
I hope that all those people in Goldhaven don't send a fleet and murder all of us, now that I'll think about it.
We'll make sure we alert the proper authorities. They're probably still scared of the dragon turtle.
They're probably on their way out here right now.
No, we will let them know that we took care of them.
And they'll be really pissed that they started on that adventure and have to turn around. We have what?
I do not believe something's upstairs.
What?
Never mind.
Just in the future, we may want to contact you. It'll be through Ganji's voice, and a few words will pop up in your head. You can reply, just don't be surprised. It could be us, just so you know.
You'll know it when it happens.
Okay, that sounds ominous, but that's fine. Weirder shit has happened, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you, making the right decision with him. He points it over this. I hope you enjoy fun. Don't spend it all in one place.
We won't.
Whippersnappers.
We won't.
And
No, actually, knowing Ganji and Rodek, they probably need new armor now, so I'm sure we
We
will.
might. Well, no, I got my armor fixed, so we're good again.
Yeah, for free, so you're right in time to spend all of our money.
and with that, I guess it's goodbye.
Alright, well, goodbye. It was great knowing you.
We're gonna miss you, Ratley.
I'm gonna miss you too. I was never any friends with Warmbloods before you lot.
Well, now you have 18 warm blood friends.
Hold on. And I pull the group aside. What are we going to do about this vulture thing? Are we going to give it to Ratley, or Annulin, do you want to keep it?
Oh, it's Annulin's mount now.
Why would I give it to Ratley? They love me.
Ratley's not as big as King Chrome.
Ratley's not its mother. If you try and leave it with Ratley, it'll peck its little eyes out.
So our goal is to take it along?
Yeah.
At this point, why not?
All right.
It'd be a good friend for Piccolo.
Yeah.
I suppose so. I don't really know much about axe beaks or two-headed vulture things, but sure, why not?
Well,
Yeah, and then, and then when the dragon egg hatches, that can be my pet.
won't it
That
grow
seems totally fair.
Won't it grow into the size of Zoki?
Yeah.
You're so...
I named it Saki, because it's second to Zaki.
Where would we keep her?
In the sky?
In the bag of holding with my dragon egg.
Once a thing gets that big, it can kind of handle itself.
Yeah, I could just fly around with
All right.
Mimi.
All right. If that's what you'd like to do, then let's bring it along. Anyway, we appreciate the gems. Thank you for your good help.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we were able to assist in bringing down King Cram and Orpheus.
All hail, Ratley the Righteous. And Sylvie will curtsy.
Long
at him.
live Ratley the Righteous.
Long live the heroes. What saved the Lockjaw Crooks. Thank you. And safe journeys.
I'm gonna rush over and give him a hug.
Oh, okay.
I like emotions. Bye.
I've never had a hug before. This
It
is
feels
very
good,
strange.
Yeah, just
Okay.
soak it all in.
Okay, no, it's
If you
fine.
get a whiff of something, I still have some leftover growling shit in my pack, but it's fine. It's drying up.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
And you leave. You take the bag of gems. Orpheus strung over your shoulder.
I'm assuming that chick met us at the docks.
He let you know that Cecily had already taken a vulture down to Gangplank, and she was just getting her things ready. And we'll just say the flight masters at the keep were a little bit hesitant about trying to strap Sunny and Scramble to a giant vulture, but they're willing to try. And so, why don't you just make an animal handling check?
How much do they weigh?
What? How much is what weigh?
How much do they weigh?
Sunny and Scramble, also known as Bubbles and whatever other name.
I mean, if it's like a medium creature, but like a bird with hollow bones, probably not that much. Like, probably lighter than Rodak.
Well, Annulin, why don't you take the broom? Be very careful, and you can fly with them on the broom and hold it in place if they're going to hurt it.
With that, would I be able to do that?
I would want you to make an animal handling check to see how calm you could get them, and then just a straight dex check to see how you can fly it.
12 for animal handling. Okay, I know I already asked this. I had my mod or my save?
Your dex mod.
Okay. Did that go down significantly?
No, I think you've always added your save in the past.
Oh, so I've just been...
You've been done goofing, probably.
So so you would be adding +5 instead of plus 9 or 8.
Okay, so 16 for the dex.
Okay, so you're able to get Sunny and Scramble onto the broom. It's very much difficult. It's very confused after only being its second day alive. And
I'm gonna pat them on their wings
and you're able to calm them down. And despite it's your first time I think flying on the broom yourself, but you are able to figure it out, and you're a bit slower than the rest of the party on their vultures with a flight. Each of them has a jockey with them on each of the vultures. And it takes you a bit longer than you would normally be able to. You eventually all land in Gangplank. As you are descending into the city, you're finally seeing, Undertow Isle, not just from a bird's eye view, but really for the first time without this strange cloudy gloom over it. And it's actually surprisingly beautiful as the swamp spreads across the entire island, but the treetops and the exotic boughs of these trees kind of shimmering with the sunset, as the clear sky kind of allows you to see the ocean spreading out in every direction all the way to the horizon, and this massive lagoon where Gangplank sits. You can get a sense that the crooks, the lockjaws, can make a good life here. As you descend into Gangplank, you see a city rebuilding from ruins. The state that you had left it in, with the rebellion being incited and the chaos caused by King Krem's bounty for any mutineers and the like. Really, you see patches of buildings that have been completely torn down, whole alleyways that have been burned, and that are just kind of covered in rubble and ash. And you see a lot of crocodile lizard folk just running around, basically repairing, trying to rebuild, kind of burning large piles of what you assume to be the dead. And you see that there is a sense of positivity and enthusiasm, of renewed faith in their allegedly righteous new king, as they've been told. And the flight master takes you to a perch not too far from the docks that go off into the lagoon. And you make your way, and you get a very similar reaction here, as you are heralded as Ratley's warm-blooded mercenaries, the ones that defeated Orpheus and defeated King Crown, and helped defeat King Crown. And as you make your way into the harbor, you see a lot of ships. You remember that a bunch of ships had been anchored out in the lagoon, and you do see one prominently at the end of the dock. This is a large ship about the size of Matthias's, a little bit smaller. It is whatever name it had by its previous owners had been ripped off after being commandeered. It is this ship is a two-sail ship, so it's a little bit smaller than Matthias's, than the Devils do, but its sails are painted with the colors of the lockjaw crooks. That same crocodile skull with the crossbones, and it seems to be a little bit beat up like the rest of their ships you remember, but it seems to be one of the cleaner, nicer ones that you had seen. Probably they realized that Warmbloods were going to be riding in it, and it's not the huge flagship that King Krem had captained, but you approach it. And as soon as you approach it, you hear a familiar voice. Hi, so what do you think of it? And as you look up, you see Winky with her scarred eye standing at the top of a plank heading down from the ship onto the dock.
It looks great.
Well, it's all yours. We thought it was the cleanest one we had. We thought you would like it. Good job on not dying, by the way.
Thanks.
Thanks for taking care of everything down here. How's Ello doing?
Oh, she's fine. Hello. Come say hi to your friends.
And then you see a hand waving, and you realize it's a lot smaller than Ello's hand. And then Ello steps up, holding the hand of Melancholia. Hello. I got Melancolia's hand. Thank you so much.
That is gruesome.
She was gruesome. This is the greatest present you and Bradley ever could have given me.
Well, I'm glad we could provide justice.
As you make your way up onto the deck, Ello and Winky are there. Ello goes to each of you and just gives you a huge, nearly back-breaking hug. Tries to be a little bit more gentle with Sylvie, being as tiny as Sylvie is, but she gives you a hug. Thank you for this. And she's holding out, patting you on the shoulder.
I too value severed arms.
Oh, it's the greatest gift I ever got.
Isn't it though? I'm going to treasure the one I get once I get
I
it.
hope you get your treasure, your severed
Oh,
arms.
I will.
It's good. And then Winky pats her on the back and says,
Okay, go help out with the rest of them.
and then Ello says,
Well, goodbye. Have a safe trip.
Bye.
and
Stay
she
safe.
Keep your arm clean.
I'm gonna hit everybody with it. I hope
Good.
it's last.
and then she walks down the plank back onto the dock. And
So what are the quarters like on the boat?
you take a moment to look around. Ratley tells you that you'll be ready to shove off. That she's as she comes up to you and says,
Well, I don't know how good sailors you are. I can give you a crew if you like. If you can promise that they ain't gonna get killed the second they go to Gorehaven.
That we can promise.
Yes.
We would appreciate the help.
Okay. I'll make sure I pay them up front.
Great.
and she allows you to go through, and you look in the quarters are comfortable. There is the captain's quarters, which has been refitted to have 5 separate beds, and there's a large hold with provisions to last you the entire voyage. Nothing fancy, but a lot of dried fish and dried swamp creatures and the like, and enough rum and hopefully enough fresh water to last you the journey.
And you'll pay them well?
Oh yeah, we pay them well. We're gonna be new merchants, ain't we?
Aye.
Great.
Are you excited?
Well, I'm used to being a pirate, but, being a merchant, being a pirate, not that much of a difference, eh?
Right. Well, you enjoy it, and you keep Ratley in line,
Oh, I will.
and you take care of him.
I was thought about coming with you, but I gotta keep an eye on Hello and Ratley. He's a moron, I don't know if you knew that.
We had a hunch.
Well, I owe you all a great debt for keeping Ratley alive. Honestly, when he went off with you, I thought, there's no way he's coming back.
Yeah, that's what we thought too. But now he's king.
I can't believe it. My own brother, my own king. Well,
It's crazy,
what a turn of events.
right?
Yep.
Well, I think you're ready to shove off now. I'll let the captain know that he'll be joining you, and I've promised I'll work out, finish out the payment for the rest of the crew, and you'll be good to go.
All right.
If you ever need us, for any reason, I'm sure you can send a letter to Gullhaven. There's a man named Seamus. We're gonna set him up real
Seamus.
nice, and you can always send a letter to him, and he'll get word to us.
Yeah.
And tell Ratley that as well.
I will, Seamus. Okay.
Okay, goodbye. You're not a hag.
Thank you. I don't know what a hag is, but I
Yeah,
appreciate
well,
it.
you're not one.
Oh,
So.
well, thank you.
Yeah,
That's
you're
the
welcome.
nicest thing anyone said to me. I'll
Okay,
say.
love you, bye.
Okay. Well, and then so it's been great, and thank you for all you've done for our people.
And so she walks off.
Best of luck.
And it's not much longer. She goes and she speaks to the captain. She introduces you and introduces you kind of to the crew. Says that they're very, very good sailors. They're some of the better sailors that are surviving the rebellion. And with a final wave, you hear of a loud bell from the dock, and all of the ropes are pulled away, and the ship pulls away away from the dock, leaving Gangplank. You head in the direction of Gullhaven, leaving the lagoon, and make your way out into open sea. And you can see as the sun is finally setting, the last bits of light kind of shimmering and casting a warm, positive glow on Gangplank. And you can kind of see King Ratley's Keep on the top of the island as the sun finally sets on Undertow Isle and the new life that you've made available for its people, and before it becomes too dark to see. And you sail back towards Gullhaven. And what time is it?
11:19.
Ah. And as you all are making your way around, you're all kind of settling in. As you get back to your quarters, you see Orpheus kind of slumped up, tied up, and you notice that his hair seems to have grown back.
Oh, son of a gun!
And it's
What
back,
the hell is this?
And it's back to its normal length. And as you kind of like flip him over, his eyes open, and he says, and that's what won the session.
Hey!
I was able to make that out in Orpheus speak as "Hello, good doers."
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
That's it, guys.
Beautiful. What a night.
What a night.
What a night. God, Rodek finally got his doll. Like 10 sessions in the
You
making.
have been plotting that for so long.
Yeah.
For so long.
I'm happy to finally see the fruits of your.
Yeah, you guys were
Like-
expecting something significantly more useful than a doll made of shit and straw, but you know,
Sometimes
that
this is
will
what
teach
get.
you to expect anything from Sylvie.
I gotta roll out.
Bye.
Night. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in for episode 29 of Legends of Avantris. We'll be back with Call of the Feywild on Monday. And
We have Renee back.
We have Renee back. Finally, we need Renee. Oh my goodness gracious. We'll finally have the full party back for Call of the Feywild. We'll be back with Legends of Avantris on Wednesday. And I know that July is going to be a little wacky with people traveling. So please stay tuned on Twitter and on Discord for updates on our streaming schedule, because it's going to get kooky.
Yeah.
New campaign.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
New campaign.
Yes.
New campaign.
And so, I guess we've already announced this, but for anyone that's interested, we already have Legends of Avantris, which I may name to be something unique, but who knows. We have Call of the Feywild, and actually, I think towards the end of July, we are hoping to start a new campaign, not in addition to, not in lieu of.
Camera's there.
Oh. Yeah, I should be talking to the camera. Starting a new campaign where I don't have a working title, but I'm not going to reveal in case I decide to change my mind.
It's very secretive. All of it is very
Yeah.
secretive.
It's all very
Nobody
secretive.
really knows what anybody else is playing. We don't know anything about each other's characters. And the good news is that Annulin and I will be attempting to be there in person with them
Yes. And so
as much as possible.
It's going
so it'll be
to-
like a once a month kind of a thing.
It's going to be once a month, ideally on a Saturday, and we'll be playing an 8-hour session, is the plan. And the players will be Nikki, Richie, Andy, Kelsey, and then Derek and Maya from the Fey campaign. So really,
You are not going to want to miss this.
yeah, the gang's all here. I'll be DMing. It should be a really interesting format. The party is amazing. We've already done 2 separate session zeros. I've split up the party into pairs and done separate session zeros. So we've already done 2 of those, and it was phenomenal. This party is primo. The characters are phenomenal. You guys are going to absolutely love it. This is going to be once a month on Saturdays. And today, if you're asking about Legends of Avantris, that's we're here every Wednesday. And so remember the giveaway. If you're into followers, tell your friends.
Yeah,
tell
so
your
we're here.
coworkers.
So this specific session is every Wednesday.
Yes.
I DM a session where Mikey plays a character, Richie was Rodek plays a character, and then we have 2 additional people. Maya and Derek, they play characters. It's all set in the Feywild. It's also homebrew. It's also 5e. That's on Mondays at 7:30. So if you want to tune into that, that's Mondays. This session for this story is every Wednesday.
Yep. And then the new story, the new campaign will be monthly on Saturdays. It may not be like the exact 3rd Saturday, but it'll kind of be more ad hoc, and we'll see how things work out. It'll be kind of a learning process. And so with that, I think those are all of our announcements. I think we're going to raid somebody.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we're gonna
Check us out on
raid.
Discord.
Yeah, come
If you-
hang out on Discord.
If you're on Facebook, come check us out on Twitch.
Discord has been blowing up the entire time we've been playing.
Oh, it has.
Yeah, you guys are
so
amazing.
yeah. So if you're talking in Discord, I will try to catch up, guys. You guys are fantastic.
But yeah, we're gonna raid.
We're
If
gonna
you're
raid Maze
subbed,
Arcana.
yeah. If you're
Spread-
subbed, show your hooters.
Yes.
Show them your hootsies, your little owlbears, and show them the Avantris fam love, please.
Yes, show them. Yeah, the
We love you.
love of the family. We love you guys. It's been amazing. It's an amazing journey. The arc is, we're in the denouement.
See you
We'll
Monday.
see you next time.